Good evening and welcome to Stupid O'Clock News. I'm Lewis Lee. Cape Canaveral, Florida. A NASA spacecraft left a mess at an asteroid when it grabbed a load of rubble last year for return to Earth. New pictures revealed Thursday. The OSIRIS-REx spacecraft made one final flyby of asteroid Bennu on April 7th to take photos of a disturbance left by October's sample collection. A depression is visible where OSIRIS-REx penetrated the asteroid's surface. Boulders were hurled by the pressurized nitrogen gas that was fired at the ground to churn up material for vacuuming and by the spacecraft's getaway thruster. A 1-ton boulder was flung an estimated 40 feet. The OSIRIS-REx team meticulously plotted the final flyover to ensure the best shots. The pictures were taken around noontime to avoid shadows and better see the changes on Bennu's rocky surface. Quote, "These observations were not in the original mission plan, so we were excited to go back and document what we did," end quote. The OSIRIS-REx will depart Bennu's vicinity next month and head back toward Earth with its precious 2-pound sample load. It's due to arrive in 2023. The solar orbiting carbon-rich asteroid is 182 million miles from Earth. By studying pieces of it, scientists hope to better understand how our solar system's planets formed and how people should react if an asteroid endangers Earth. And the answer to that question is, that's the news. Start the show.
Alrighty. How's it going, everybody?
I have a question, though.
Sure.
It moved a 1-ton boulder.
I know.
Yeah.
No,
With a blast of nitrogen.
That is a horrible description because an asteroid is so much smaller than Earth.
You're talking about the difference in gravity?
Yeah,
How
a 1-ton boulder on an asteroid could be the size of Australia.
Yeah, well, this one isn't the entire asteroid isn't that big.
If it's the size of a 1-ton boulder on Earth, it might only weigh 40 pounds on.
And are we talking about a real 1-ton boulder, or are we talking about a Star Trek prop 1-ton boulder?
Depends. Was there a Gorn involved?
I was just about to ask who threw it.
And Carl Witzman says, looking at back at one's mess and taking photos must be a male satellite.
True.
Just before the divorce papers were filed.
Now,
our job here is done.
Now we have littered three other heavenly bodies besides our own: the Moon, Mars, and Bennu.
And Venus.
Yeah,
and what?
Venus.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We crashed one on Venus.
The two.
We're just the solar system's litter bugs, man.
Well, if you're talking about the Russian Veneras, they didn't crash. They gently landed in the sulfuric
and then melted.
acid and melted from the 900 degree Fahrenheit heat. Yes.
I was watching something the other day about the Cassini spacecraft. There is a international treaty that we can't leave satellites in the orbits of the gas giants.
What?
Yes.
Who are we signing a treaty with? Titan?
It's an international treaty that we can't leave anything we cannot abandon spacecraft in the orbits of other heavenly bodies of the solar system. So that's why they crashed.
Gas giants.
Yeah, well, yeah. But the gas giants are the ones that are getting most of it. Yeah, because I think it rolls back to the Voyager because somebody complained that we threw junk out into the intergalactic space now.
That wasn't junk.
Yeah, Voyager's still working, so it's not junk.
Yet.
Now we did throw, what was it, Cassini? We did throw that down into Saturn.
Yeah. And that's what Carl says. Yeah, add Saturn to the list.
Yep.
And they'll probably do the same thing with Juno at the end of its service life.
The Voyager spacecraft were launched in the 70s. They were designed and launched in the 70s. What else do you know of from the 70s, technology-wise, is still working? That's an amazing feat.
Nuclear power plants, a couple of cars.
I said technology, like,
Well, I do have a big Halicon announcement.
By all means.
Our first guest, the interstellar woman of mystery, Stephanie Osborne is returning to Halicon.
Good.
And also, KT our resident authors, KT Hunter and TD Robson, are coming back. And we're working on a couple more. I'm just waiting to hear confirmation from them.
Skunk, you just get out of the shower?
Yeah, a little while ago.
I should have jumped in the shower myself, but I've just not had time.
Well, I had to. Who wants to hear what happened to me today?
Who knows?
I'm trying to look. We have this long story short version. There is one of the main the corporate guys at the company apparently needed our truck driver to take his truck and trailer and go up to Knoxville, pick something up, and deliver it to Stone Mountain. Reasonable request. But then when he got down there, he was told to drop the trailer. And he, it's the boss, it's the owner's kid. So you kind of have to do what he says, right? Right?
That what the owner wanted, was it?
It wasn't. The owner doesn't know what the hell's going on. It wasn't what we wanted. It wasn't what my terminal wanted. We wanted our trailer. So he shows up, he ain't got a trailer. We're like, well, where's the load? He's, I know. Then another guy shows up about an hour later, backs a trailer in, and here's the thing: if you guys don't know, semi-truck trailers are not made identical. They're not all the same. People know about the different lengths of trailers: your 20-foot trailers, your 48-foot trailers, 53-foot trailers. But they're also made with different heights.
Oh no!
This trailer is about a foot taller than our old trailer.
How much damage?
Oh, there's no damage to anything related with the trailer directly. Like this thing didn't run into anything or anything like that. It's just that it's so much higher that we're now having to basically scrape a pallet jack across our ramp because the ramp is now sitting up higher rather than the pallet jack going across all nice like this. Instead, it's now up higher, so the pallet jack's going like that. What this has resulted in is a lot of pallets falling over, sometimes on top of people. And we've been complaining, but nobody has been seriously hurt. We keep constantly complaining about it because it's just annoying. Because then we have to pick up all these totes and stuff like that. But again, no one has been seriously hurt.
Would you like a suggestion from somebody that used to have to unload trailers?
No one has been seriously hurt until today.
Oh, shit.
When one of the pallets that had started to fall over while I was attempting to load the truck shot the pallet jack out into my knee. And it knocked my kneecap out of place, and it hurt like I was on the ground. This is why I had to take a shower tonight. I was going to wait because I got the wedding coming up, and I was going to I'll take a shower after work tomorrow so I don't have to take 2 showers because I don't want to be filthy after work tomorrow. But I got home and I was covered in black dust all over my arms and face and everything because I hit the ground crying. It hurt so bad. My story does not end here because as I'm trying to find out if somebody else can load this trailer, because I don't think I'm going to be able to, I can't get my boss on the phone. I get the assistant manager on the phone, but he can't hear me. I'm like, Kayla shows up. She's the old assistant manager. I go out there to talk to her, and I don't know if you can see it now. You can't. The light's too bright. I've got a scratch about 2 inches long on my wrist because as I'm attempting to limp over to her to explain what's going on and see if she can finish loading the trailer, my blue jeans caught on the side of the van door, thus bringing me to a direct halt, causing me to put pressure down on my left leg to prevent from falling over, which caused my left leg to go out. I slam into the door. The door scratches my arm. Now, you know those doors have a little rubber stopper on it to prevent you from just banging the door up against the side of the van when you open it, right? When you open it all the way up to back into like a loading dock or something like that. Well, the door hit the little rubber stopper, bounced off, hit me again. I landed on my other leg and hurt that knee. So 5 minutes later, I'm all angry, piss and vinegar. I'm sitting in the office. I got 2 ice packs, got 1 on each leg. And I'm fuming. I'm like, I'm so done. I finally end up talking to my boss. I'm like, you know how I said if there was an injury that I'm like this close to suing the company because if I get injured, I'm going to be so. She's like, yeah. I was like, I just got injured. She's like, I'm sending a text to the boss right now that he better get our trailer back because I'm not having any more workman's comp claims. I said, I know. She's like, do you need to go to the doctor? I said, no, I didn't.
Mistake.
I said yes.
I knocked the kneecap back into place and just sat there and took some Advil and dealt with it because that's what I do. I don't take time off. Screw that. It's not broken. It was just messed up. I can fix it. It's like when my nose was broken. I set it back into place. It kept working. You know, my ribs are broken. Whatever. It's going to be harder to breathe for a couple of days. I'm fine. You know, it's like when the tote hit me in the head. Take some aspirin, take a small break, eat some food, and keep on trucking. I'm not going to give up just because. But it's the fact of the matter is that, seriously, why is this such an issue? We've had people have been almost getting hurt this whole entire time. They're not taking it seriously. Somebody finally does get hurt, you know, and she told me, she said, you know, the thing is that she wasn't there. And I wasn't going to, she's got a broken foot right now. I'm not calling her into work just so I can get access to the office to be able to fill out the incident report. She knows about it, so I'll probably have to do that tomorrow morning, fill out the incident report, telling you what's going on. And I'm not, you know, and that's the other thing too, is just like, if I go fucking hospital, right, they're going to put me on workman's comp. And that screws the whole company up. I'm like, you know what? No, I'd rather just work through it. It's fine now. It doesn't hurt anymore. I still have a bruise, but you know, I'm fine.
In the morning.
This one over here is completely fine now, except for you know, I got a pimple right here. But other than that, you know, but I mean, it hurts, but it's fine. You know, I mean, it's not even a real pain anymore. It's just kind of like a dull ache. If I press against it, it kind of hurts. You know, and so it's the fact of though it shouldn't have happened in the first place, you know? I think the idea that you have a trailer that is designed for one of those hydraulic liftgate things that clamp down on top of it and also designed specifically for forklifts and not pallet jacks, well, I would think that would be an OSHA issue. Would you not think that? That's why I'm like, you know, tell them that if something doesn't change, I've already been injured. You know about it. I've let you know. You let him know. If this happens again, it's a lawsuit. I'm not even playing. Like, I'm done with this. I said, I told you the day I get hurt is going to be the final warning on this. And I got hurt today. So I was like, it's not happening anymore. So.
And you loaded the gun, but you didn't pull the trigger. Listen to me. After 20-something years of shooting video for TV stations, hurting my back by carrying a 25-pound camcorder on one shoulder, all right? Hurting my shoulder. I've got rotator cuff issues to this day. I can't hardly do anything over my head that takes more than 60 seconds because the shoulders are gone. But because I never went to the doctor on any of my individual injuries, there's no paper trail, no evidence. I can't go back on them. I could be medically retired like Joe Dog right now.
I mean,
no, instead, I still have to work in retirement.
Here's the thing. I did think about it. It did go through my head. I should just go to the doctor and make them pay for it, make the deal with it. But again, they're going to put me on workman's comp. They put me on workman's comp. Guess what? I've just ruined an entire weekend of my dad's wedding. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to suffer through it this time. But this is the only time, Lewis. It's the only time. I'm doing it for my dad, and that's just all there is to it. Because they put me on workman's comp. You know, I know how them workman's comp guys are. They're going to be like, oh, he's faking an injury. You're going to go looking, and take pictures of you and everything else. They see me standing around at a wedding having a beer. There's going to be no damn workman's comp. So I'm just not even dealing with it. I've just said, but if it happens again, like that's it. And they know it now. I told her, I said, you tell Nate, I said, you tell the boss, you tell your boss, that's her boss that I'm talking about. So you tell your boss that if this ever happens again,
I'm just telling you need to play the long game.
Yep.
Because you're not going to be 35 forever. And you're going to be 60 and wishing that you could retire and get it over with.
Yeah. That's why my back's in the shape it was in, because I went so long doing. Yep. So finally, thankfully, it blew out on the job. And
believe me, I appreciate the fact that you want to help your company not have problems. But, dude, they would, if
10 years from now,
they'd replace
10 years from now, you'll look like Joe Dog.
Well, I do want to point out that what Lewis said is Lewis is making a very good point right there. However, I do want to point out, Lewis, that if I died tomorrow, it'd still take them 6 months to replace me because they're that slow at hiring people. That's why we're in the fucking state we're in right now, where I'm afraid to go to the freaking doctor and take me off work for 2 weeks. Like I said, I could walk on it. It just hurt,
Yeah, but it's the only way that they learn how to make for a safe workplace. That's an unfortunate truth.
That's why they have those signs out front that say so many days since the last person died.
Yeah,
we have, and that's the thing. This is one of two issues in the company, and it's the only one that I'm looking at being all like, you could fix this. You could fix this tomorrow. Like, as in, I'm not even kidding. You could fix this Friday. The truck ain't gonna be there Friday. The semi's going back to Penske to get something fixed. So he's going to Penske in the morning. It ain't gonna be there. It ain't gonna be attached to the trailer. They could come up here with a semi with the original trailer because they know where it is now. They'd lost it. They lost the trailer. They know where the trailer is now. So they could bring the trailer back up from Atlanta. They could park it there. They could pick up the other trailer, and they could take it back to wherever the heck it came from. We'll have our old trailer back. They could fix this tomorrow. And it's like they need to, because once they fix it, there's going to be – we've never had an issue until we got that other trailer. The only other problem safety-wise that's going on in the warehouse right now, and it's really annoying, is we have independent contractors that are basically playing temps. They're covering the routes we don't have people for right now. Well, one of the vans, and this is every car guy watching this show right now is about to cringe so hard. One of the vans has a transmission leak. So guess what we keep finding all over the floor? That's only sometimes covered up with kitty litter.
Slippery transmission fluid.
Oh, yeah. You have no idea how many times I've done involuntary pirouettes because I accidentally stepped in that crap.
It helps if you had roller skating as a PE in college.
Well, we didn't, but nor did I have ballet. But this is another one of those things where, like, both of these incidents, the problems with the trailer and the transmission fluid on the ground, are both why I'm so glad to be a professional wrestler, because in both instances, like, yeah, it sucked, but I knew exactly what to do to with the oil. I knew how to tumble out of that with the transmission fluid to not get hurt. And then with the knee thing, I was like,
you learned to take a fall.
Yeah. With the knee thing, I was like, I know it's not broken. It's just jammed, and I can unjam it. The
The
other knee
foot-
only hurt because it slammed into the concrete at 285 pounds, or not 200, 185. I don't weigh 285. I weigh 185. 185 pounds. It slammed into the concrete, and I had the assistance of a door, that it bounced off of, like a trampoline almost, except made out of Nissan.
Well, before I learned that you'd gotten hurt, I was going to make a suggestion that would make it safer to unload the trailer.
I know. Whatever you got, whatever you got, I guarantee you, we won't be able to do it because we don't have anything else. Like it's literally all we've got. We've got 2 metal plates with the teeth in them, and 1 pallet jack that can go up the plates. We have a second pallet jack, but it's one of the really long ones, and it's only designed to be used with our auto parts pallets when we get them in. And let me give you all a little tip. It don't work for those either. It sucks. Those long pallet jacks, they're so long that if you put weight on one end, the other end don't want to move, no matter what you do.
Was that a sneeze, Lewis?
But
that was a stifled sneeze. Now my head hurts.
Oh, don't do that.
Skunk.
But Dan, I will hear your suggestion. I'm just warning you right now. I'm sure I won't be able to do whatever it is.
Deflate the tires on the trailer.
I suggested this. Deflate tires on the trailer. And here's the issue with that. Here's what because I said
they got no way to reinflate them.
I said deflate the tires, and that way it'll lower down if we deflate the tires, and then we can just fill them back up. And they were like,
Is the trailer on a truck, or is it on the jacks?
Well, I mean, it's the truck's on the jack. The truck's backed in whenever it's on there, so the truck is sitting there with the trailer on the 5th wheel. Okay. But I said, why don't we do that? And she was like, well, how are we going to reinflate the tires? I said, we got an air compressor right here. She goes, no, you don't understand. When the truck's backed in all the way, if we deflate the tires, we can't get the air compressor down there. Because if you imagine that this box that you currently see me in, this camera box, right? This view, if this is where the trailer is backing up in, right? On one side, say over here, there's empty space. There's plenty of room. We can get the air compressor over there. Just run an extension cable. On this side, there's a wall. We can't even get to the tires. Now, technically, I could crawl under there and do it, but
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah, except they'd claim it was a work hazard to crawl under a trailer that's sitting on the rims. Like it can go any damn lower.
I was gonna say, well, John, I was gonna get to that point. Because I thought that was what Joe was about to say, John. You don't deflate it all the way.
Yeah.
Right. Don't deflate it all the way. Just deflate it part of the way.
Just where it was safe enough to unload it with the pallet jack.
The problem is with that part it's not a paved area that the truck's backing up into. It's gravel. I think if we lowered the pressure down on the tires, the trailer would get stuck and it would just end up dragging them through. And then that would cause damage to the trailer. And then Penske would have our ass because we don't own the trailer. But, Dan, I want to point out, great minds think alike because we both thought of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the other idea I had, which was let's violate more OSHA safety standards. My idea was we have 2 pallet jacks. When we stick the first pallet jack underneath the other pallet jack, that way we can raise the second pallet jack up and just push the whole entire thing on at once. Then it's already on the trailer. Then we can just go the rest of the way. And when I suggested that, Russell looked at me and he was like, "You're nuts. You know that?" He's like, "They wouldn't even do that down in Mexico." Like, where do you think I got the idea to do that? I've seen that video of the 2 forklifts. The one forklift picked the other forklift up so he could get in the trailer.
Yeah. Oh, we had a nightmare last summer. Somebody was trying to load and will unload and then reload a flatbed with the forklift driving onto the flatbed.
That can be dangerous.
No sides to keep you from going off. So after they got caught trying to do that, the load boss in the warehouse made them tow the flatbed out into the parking lot and made the forklift go out in the parking lot and push stuff in from the sides.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That reminds me of the video, the SpaceX video today. They had the little warehouse forklift unloading outside, unloading one of the trailers. He backed up, turned, and sunk in the gravel. So here they come with the big industrial boom lift. Just swooped in, picked him up with the load, pulled him out, rolled around, set him on the asphalt, and then the boom lift unloaded the rest of the truck.
Well, they already had it there.
The guy just waved at him. Thank you.
That's one thing I'm glad the contractors that come to our place and have to work outside in the gravel lot, they've got some folks that really know what they're doing with the forklift. And they've got some really adaptable forklift stuff that they have found time and time again can do things outside that you wouldn't be able to do with a forklift that's in a warehouse, designed to be in a warehouse.
Well, have you ever watched Barnwood Builders on the DIY network?
No, not at all. Never heard of
it. What they do is they go and buy old log cabins and tear them down, take them to their yard in West Virginia, clean them up, and resell them. But they've got this one guy that can use one of those boom forklifts, and he can pick, with that boom lift, just pick the building apart. And he can also set those logs. And then one of my favorite episodes is they found 100% house.
What do you mean by 100%?
100% means they didn't even have to scrape the logs.
Oh, okay. No restoration necessary.
No restoration necessary. They loaded it on a truck and hauled it to Texas.
One of my favorite things from the forklift training classes at work, they always show this one thing. There's this warehouse with these 3-story tall stacks of shelves that you put pallets of stuff on.
Oh, yes.
And the forklift driver backs into one leg of one shelf. The entire place comes down like a house of cards, right on top of it.
I don't think he survived.
Yes, he did.
He did?
Yeah, because the cages on these forklifts we have to use now, they will take a lot of punishment.
Those ropes are good.
No, they're not ropes. They are steel cages.
No, that's what they're called, ropes. Rolled over protection system.
Oh, okay.
I thought he meant ropes too, and I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, I don't think they use ropes, brother, but whatever.
No, but at the end of the video, you can see him kind of slide out the wrong side of the forklift where there's no step to dismount because he can't get out the right side.
He took out the whole warehouse.
Yeah, it just went down like dominoes. And
I mean, even 4 or 5 rows over to the sides.
Mm-hmm. And that's hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of inventory that just got ruined.
Millions of dollars.
Yeah, I would. I'd say that was pretty easily would reach that amount. But
have you seen the picture of the paint inside the Home Depot? the paint spill at Home Depot?
Now that one I haven't seen yet.
I saw that pop up, and I thought, ooh, that's bad. Went to the Home Depot up here in Hickson, and they were still cleaning it up. It went nationwide. Somebody backed into the 5-gallon paint bucket thing and knocked
the entire shelf down.
Yes. The 5-gallon buckets of white paint. There's still paint on the floor, and that's been a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Jesus, Joe, you suddenly got louder.
I didn't do anything.
Did anybody else notice that?
No.
My ears popped or something. He suddenly just increased in volume, and I about pissed myself.
Well, you got louder.
I got louder?
Yep.
Yeah, well, you said, Jesus, Joe.
Well,
It woke Lewis up. I mean, it wouldn't work for
All
me.
right,
It woke
all
Lewis
right.
up.
Okay.
Are you done, Lewis?
I'm done.
wait.
9 hours of driving and 3 pounds of crawfish.
Yeah. 3 pounds? No. 20 pounds.
20. Okay, I'll be over.
We ordered 25 pounds. We ate 5 that, as soon as we picked them up. And then I packed the rest on ice and brought them home. And that's what I've been doing today is peeling crawfish. But out of that, I've got a very large bowl of crawfish meat. And now I'm going to make some etouffee.
You said tomorrow?
Saturday.
About what time?
He's already planning out where the gas money's coming from.
Yeah.
I am fully vaccinated now.
Well, we are going to have start having little get-togethers real soon, and we're only inviting people who are vaccinated. We have a couple that's a friend of ours down in Lawrenceville, Georgia.
Yeah, that's it. That's Hickson.
Yep. If they just go ahead and spread it around, they'll never have to paint that floor again.
We have some friends down in Lawrenceville, Georgia, and they're planning a big barbecue next month, and they've only invited couples who have been vaccinated. Yeah. So that's going to be the new party ticket. It's not like.
Well, one thing they told me to do is take a picture with your cell phone of your vaccination card. That way, if you lose the vaccination card, you've got a photo of it on your cell phone.
Right.
Oh, I've done
that. Plus, my vaccination card is in with my passport.
That's a good idea.
That's going to be a requirement now for international travel. I guarantee it.
Something that I have heard is they're recommending against laminating the card.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. I haven't done it yet, but
it's different things that I've read on the news. I can't say how accurate it is, but they're recommending against laminating the card in case they go to having yearly boosters, or if it becomes necessary every 6 months.
The CEO of Pfizer just came out today and said that they believe that the data is going to show that you should probably get a yearly booster starting 1 year after your second shot.
That's what I was telling my wife. She was asking, how many times are we going to have to do that? And I go, it's probably going to become like a flu shot. New strains come out
and
every
that's
year.
The other thing that he said. That's the other thing that he said. They're considering the possibility of combining it with the current flu vaccine to make it one shot.
Oh, wow. I never thought about that. I would not have assumed that the chemistry of the two different vaccines would coexist.
I know.
Very well.
Maybe that's what they've got to work out. But
hey, if they can make it work, I mean, I've still got the what is it, the smallpox vaccine scarf on my shoulder.
Me too, man.
To quote one of my favorite actors, they laughed at the man that invented penicillin.
Did they? Really?
Yep. Apparently. When he told him he made a drug out of bread mold, they were like,
yeah, well, they laughed at the person that made aspirin out of willow tree bark. I mean, shit.
Until she turned him into a frog.
Well,
there was a reason that the Native Americans were chewing on that bark.
Yes.
They knew it.
hey, it wasn't to catch buzz.
That's what.
Hey, we are intercontinental. Hello, Fabrico from
Fabricio. That's Fabricio.
Fabricio from
Rio de Janeiro.
Welcome. We're just a group of guys that just sit around and talk about a lot of nothing.
But we do it so well.
And we try to be entertaining as we do it. Oh,
okay, guys. I'm gonna back out and do my day job so that I can get some sleep.
Yeah, go ahead, get you some sleep.
Go ahead. You've had a long drive, long drive, and some very good food. So,
well. It's been fun, guys, and
we'll see you Saturday night. All right. Good night.
Bye.
And also for everybody that's sort of tuning in, Sunday night, somewhere around 6:00, we'll be returning to Facebook. And I do advise everybody to be watching that opening scene.
It's going to be epic, I'm assuming.
Oh, yes.
And we're taking bets on how many seconds it takes Joe to get kicked back off of Facebook.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking that, John. I was like, really, you're going to kick yourself back off Facebook? Wow.
Like, welcome back to Facebook. Oh, never mind, kicking.
No, here's the way I think it'll go down.
Yeah.
Hello, this is Joe Dog McKeel for Stupid O'Clock. Click. Exactly.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I finally found out what I did wrong.
Wasn't it several years ago?
Yes.
Apparently, their bot has nothing better to do than go back and look at old posts.
Something I posted over a year ago. 3 years ago. 4 years ago. Yeah, 4 years ago. They finally decided to tag me for it.
Well, if there's any justice in the world, Mark Zuckerberg will get sued for billions of dollars by Europe.
Yeah, I saw that. And
now, if it was a class action suit by everybody in Europe, it might work.
Carl Witzman wants 40 seconds in the pool.
40. You think it'll go that long?
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you, it won't. The slap is like a minute 46 in. Do what?
Said I was just reminded about something.
What?
Unrelated.
Oh.
If you want to keep going, Joe, keep going. I'll do my thing in a second.
I want to know what John's got in his little black book. We're just writing the bits down.
Right, somebody on this thing.
Julie's phone number.
Dan. Something I think is I think it's Dan, but somebody sounds like their mic is going through a tunnel.
What? Me? Hello?
No, I think it's Dan because it seemed to hear it every time Dan talks.
All right. Well, here we go.
See what I mean? You guys hear that? You guys hear what I'm talking about?
Is your mic touching your beard, Dan?
It could be. All right. How's that?
That's a little
better. Yeah, it sounds a little better.
Okay. Apparently, I had been wearing the darn thing reversed. So the left signal was going in the right ear and the right signal was going in the left ear.
Well, Dan, I know a great way to make that not scratch your beard not scratch it anymore.
I'm not shaving, so shut up.
Okay, well, so much for that idea.
Another thing I was going to talk about, and I didn't link this episode of Stupid O'Clock to my Facebook page. So I don't think any member of my family is watching it, nor would they be invited to watch it. So I just go ahead and talk about it, since I know none of them are watching. As
There's
I said,
always the replay.
they're not going to watch it. Those people aren't even on my Facebook, so I'll just.
John,
my dad's wedding.
Yes.
Is Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Wish we could be there.
No, you don't. I don't even want to be there.
Well, in support of you is what I was thinking. But
I want to be there for my dad, and Patty, his future wife, and that's literally it.
Oh,
I
see.
Want to be around. So I find out. Right, we're not doing Bugapalooza next weekend. We did it last weekend, and I didn't even go because we had it turned a 3-day event to a 1-day event down there at the Market Pavilion in downtown Chattanooga. And then once it was over, that was it. So instead, I didn't need that Friday off. So I told my boss, I said, well, I probably won't need that Friday off because I'm working from 4 to noon. I'll just work 8 hours and then I'll pop down to Atlanta. There's a wrestling show down there. I can make some money. My boss was like, yeah, sure. That sounds great. I said, okay, cool. So then I talked to my dad about it, and I said, yeah, there's a wrestling show down in Atlanta, and I'm going to, after I get off work tomorrow, I'm going to pop down there, or not tomorrow, but Friday. When I get off work Friday, I'm going to pop down there and make some money. And my dad, I love my dad. He's like, well, when you get off work, instead of going down to Atlanta, you can always come down to the house and come hang out with the family because everybody's going to be in town Wednesday. And I'm like, yeah, I'd like to go to Atlanta and make some money. And he's like, well, we're all going to be hanging. And I could tell the look on his face, man. I could tell the look on his face. It was like, I really, really want you to be there if you can on Friday. Spend time with the family. And it was one of those like, he's not looking forward to it any more than you are, is he? No, he loves his family. He loves those people. He's trying to get me to no longer have a grudge against certain members of the family who
ought to remain nameless.
Oh no, I'll name them. I just won't use the names that I won't use their Christian names that were given to them at birth. I'll use the names off of George.
Any identifiers at all.
I'd use the words, the names that George Carlin has on that list of 7 words. That's what I'd freaking use.
He's got another one that might be more appropriate, but it's even less applicable for prime time. So,
I mean, there's just these people some of them are awful. Some of them are absolutely awful people. They're just the worst kind of scumbags that I don't want to deal with them. But I love my dad. And he was hinting that, like, I could tell in his eyes and stuff like that with how bummed he is that he was like, man, if you go down to Atlanta when you have an opportunity to come over to the house and hang out, man, I'm going to be so sad. Especially since you were going to take the date. You weren't even originally going to go because you were going to go to Bugapalooza with us. It's going to break my heart. I know it's the look he was giving me was I'm going to break his heart. So now I I got to go. Said I want to disappoint my dad. And that means I have to be around my aunt and his mother. God, I hate those people.
We all have our own bears to cross.
If it wasn't for the fact that, or I'm telling you this right now, it wasn't for the fact that I live here now in my own place, which I love having. If I still lived with my dad, I would literally tomorrow get off work on the way home down East Brainerd Road. I'd stop at Dodge City Liquor and I would buy my first bottle of bourbon in about 5 years. And I would make sure I spent some money on that bourbon. I'd get Maker's Mark, peel that wax seal off, and I'd begin drinking as soon as I got to the house, and I wouldn't stop drinking until the fight ended, because there would be a fight. I know there would be. I know how I get when I drink. I know what's up, you know? So but it would be the only way. But no, since I'm going to my dad's and have to drive, I can't drink. But there's a bonus to that. If I'm not drinking and I have to go home, as long as we don't go somewhere, I leave whenever the hell I want. So I'm going to treat it like that Bob's Burgers episode on Christmas where Bob had to go visit his dad. He had to go to his dad's diner for the night. And he kept telling us, like, I'm gonna set a timer for 15 minutes. 15 minutes, we got to leave or else there's going to be a fight. Then it showed like the flashback of all the times that he's had to interact with his dad. At 15 minutes, his dad would say something smart ass, and he'd be like, "All right, kids, we're leaving." That's what it's gonna be like dealing with my family. I'm gonna be like, 15 minutes, I'm just gonna figure it out from there, man. I'm like, I don't know. Just as long as they don't sucker me into doing something like, oh, we're going to go to the aquarium. Like, I don't want to go frickin' aquarium with you people. You go to the aquarium. I'm going to go to the pickle barrel and have a few drinks. The only way that they're going to get me to leave that house and go somewhere with them is if they're going to a really expensive restaurant and they're buying and I ain't paying shit.
That works. Yes, we see it.
Good idea, Joe. And you know what? I mean, I don't care to piss these people off. I don't like them anyway. So they're all Republicans. So and when I say Republicans, don't misunderstand. I don't mean, no, let me rephrase that. They're all conservatives, not Republicans. They're conservatives.
There are conservative Democrats. So yes.
Exactly. Right. They're conservatives, right? They're totally, it's all about me and screw you, and they don't care, and they sit there and they binge Fox News, and they think that Trump is the golden god. They come down from Valhalla to deliver us from the evil of the Obama, who they didn't like, and they couldn't tell me a single reason why they didn't like him other than like, well, he's from Kenya, which isn't even true. That's this family. I don't like these people, right? Okay. So it's not going to be weird at all if I'm just all like 6 feet. I don't want to catch your COVID. I don't have COVID. I don't know. You don't wear a mask.
You just
What?
Now we're going to have a flag on the video.
Oh, yeah. Happened today. Had to go to Walmart to get some stuff.
Oh.
Somebody got on to me because I'm wearing my mask.
What?
Approached
Why?
me. I don't know. Just thought I was an easy target. I don't know. Went off and go so that that mask doesn't help you catch COVID. I said, I know it don't help me catch COVID. Helps you catch COVID from me since I have it. I've never seen somebody fall backwards trying to get away from me. I said, no, don't walk away. Come here.
Let me give you a big hug.
And I think that might be what it is, Joe. I think they picked you because for some reason, they thought you'd be an easy target because nobody's ever said a thing to me. And I think that's because they look at me and they're all like, that guy's wearing a mask. Doesn't he know that masks don't work? Aren't you going to say something to him? Well, no, it looks like he'd swallow me.
Yeah, But that's what I said. No, I'm not protecting. It's not protecting, me from you. It's protecting you from me since I have COVID. And, I'm just getting over it and I can take it off. They're like, ah!
Psychology is a wonderful tool.
Yeah,
in the wrong hands.
Then the manager showed up.
So which one?
Offer to give him a hug too.
Which Walmart was this, by the way?
153.
Okay.
And I said, no, I don't have COVID, but that guy got up in my face and was being an asshole, so I just threw the biggest fear in the world at him. Well, it's not that's considered threatening him. So, I said, fine, I'll leave.
They really kick you out?
No, they didn't kick me out, but they asked me to politely don't do it again, and it wasn't a welcome thing to do in their store. Yeah, Carl. Yeah.
Yeah, Carl, you look like a biker, basically. And if you weren't smiling and as pleasant as you normally are to everyone in the green room, you'd look even more threatening.
I just want to point out that I hate the fact that that there is your phone is a listening device. Let's be completely fair.
Oh, completely fair. Okay, yeah.
It's definitely listening in on you. It is definitely listening on you. And it is too, because I want to point this out. Joe Dog was talking earlier about Home Depot, and I was talking about Home Depot, and I opened up my browser and there was a link to Home Depot all of a sudden, and I was like, what? Right. But I want to talk about this. I'm scrolling through Facebook while we're sitting here talking, and there's a company called Armed American Supply that has an advertisement on my Facebook page currently. And all it is it's yellow, that neon yellowish green safety shirt color. You know what color I'm talking about?
Yeah.
All of these have black screen printing on them. And they say things like, you can either expect me to work well with others or pass a drug test. I can't do both. Or
that would be popular at the place where I work.
I don't get enough credit for doing all of this sober. Here's a good one. You must be exhausted from watching me do everything. Okay. But this is the last one. And I saw this, and I honestly was like, okay, it's 25. Apparently it's $25 if I buy the shirt, right? If I buy the shirt, I'll get, it's like 500 entries to win a Ford F-250 if I buy the shirt. $25. Like I said, it's a safety green shirt, safety yellow, right? And it says it's a trucker thing. You wouldn't understand, right? And it's the layout of a high-low 8-gear.
Layout of a what?
A high-low 8-gear.
Oh,
semi.
Okay, I got you.
I'm looking at this and I'm like, I kind of want to get that for my dad.
Hey, let's try an experiment. Everybody look at your phone and go, where can I buy good liverwurst?
I don't know where my phone is right now.
Well,
I don't want to get up because I'd have to take my headphones off.
I don't have any of that crap turned on in my phone. It doesn't listen to me. Hell, it barely looks at me.
My phone listens to me all the time, but that's because I constantly, while I'm driving down the road listening to Nevermind the Furthermore, I have to hit that button and talk for a minute and then send the message, and then I'll realize that it's got a typo, and then I'll try to fix the typo while I'm driving because my phone will do things like it doesn't understand the difference between when I what was one that happened to me recently that I was trying to fit. I'll say, well, that's the Carl. You've almost caused me to crash a few times because I'll say, I'll be responding to something Carl says in chat on Nevermind the Furthermore, and it always spells Carl with a C. It's very annoying.
I'm going to turn the microphone off, but I'm going to leave the camera on so John can steal this background.
I already have that background.
But I will say this. The
His chair's gone.
oh, he made his chair invisible. Neat. I will say this though, and I think this does bear repeating. When I got nailed in the head on Wednesday, I stopped caring about typos. I really did. Or was it Wednesday or was it Tuesday? I don't remember when I got hit in the head. That's how bad that is. I don't remember when I got hit in the head. I think it was Tuesday. I stopped caring about typos, and it was really funny. I went back through and looked at my texts that I was sending to my roommate. I went back through and I looked at them, and I said such weird things, but I realized I was saying things right. The phone was picking them up wrong, but I was also slurring my speech because I'd been hit in the head, and I probably was mumbling while I was talking. Plus, I was in a mood because I was in pain. I was pissed off. So it was some of the stuff that was on there was hilarious. God, it was almost like poetry. Hey, speaking of which, by the way, speaking of things I'm supposed to be doing, I'm supposed to pay the rent, or not the rent, the electric. I'm gonna pay the electric bill.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Otherwise, next thing you know, you're gone.
Kicked me off that fast, but EPB is a pretty neat company.
You really, really have to be way behind for them to shut you down.
I like EPB so far, as much as I've been using them.
Oh. Why don't one of y'all come over here tomorrow and change that faucet out in this kitchen sink for me?
I have to go hang out with my family, remember?
I know. I just hate crawling under the sink to change it out. We got one of those new fancy faucets that comes way up high and over, but the sprayer's inside the nozzle.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Sorry about that. Snickers and Burger King just don't taste good the second time.
Right?
Yeah.
That's disgusting, Joe.
What?
Snickers and Burger King? What?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, the Burger King burgers weren't enough, so I ate a Snickers bar and, to finish it off. And I think the Burger King onion rings along with it didn't help.
You didn't get them from Sonic?
Well, Sonic was down the street, but I just wanted to make one stop.
I do want to point out real quick, and I'm not sure who all watching this at home is going to care. I'm not sure if the people on the show are even going to care. The company that owns Sonic and a few other places like Arby's, Jimmy John's, Buffalo Wild Wings, etc. It's a major company. I can't remember what they're called. They're named after an Ayn Rand character. I can point that out because I remember reading that in an article. They are the ones. That company is bragging and taking credit for pushing Congress to cut the several year minimum wage rising over the next several years during the Biden administration to bring it up to $15 an hour for the entire country. They're taking credit for destroying that. So there is currently a nationwide boycott against all of those companies by people who feel that 15, or at least an increase in minimum wage in general, is a good thing. So I don't know if y'all are interested in that or not, but I am. And I'll tell you right now, I have stopped eating at Sonic, Arby's, Buffalo Wild Wings, Jimmy John's, and I don't remember the other restaurants, but if I can't think of them off the top of my head, I probably don't go there anyway.
Yeah, well, one thing about the $15 an hour minimum wage, I really don't want to pay 10 for a fucking Big Mac.
Here's the thing about that, right? We've increased the minimum wage. We stopped increasing the minimum wage, right? And the price of all that stuff, we are, no, hold on. Let me rephrase. We haven't increased the minimum wage in this area. They have increased the minimum wage in major urban areas where the cost of living is so much more, right? And the price of the food is no different there than it is here. The only things that have different prices are things that are taxed heavier. If you go to get a burger at McDonald's, if you go to get a combo meal, a value meal at McDonald's in Chicago, it's still going to cost you like $7-8 to get a Big Mac. It's the same as it's going to cost $7-8 to get a Big Mac here. What's different is your fuel prices and your cigarette prices, because those are taxed differently, and other things that are taxed differently that I don't know about. But those are the two that I know about.
You're not going to be getting cigarettes in Walmart after August.
The whole entire thing that people say is like, oh, if they increase the minimum wage, then prices will just go up. And it's like, so what you're saying is that they're artificially inflating the prices to not pay their employees so that they get a better bottom line. That's exactly what's happening. These people think that's right. You look at like guys like Jeff Bezos and stuff like that. They don't need billions of dollars. They're getting billions of dollars because they're abusing their employees, man, and work for pennies. When I saw that poem. It's been around for years. Boss makes $1, I make a dime, therefore I poop on company time. You see it written on the bathroom wall at your work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody made a new version of that. And it was I should have copied it. But it was a long thing. It was like, boss used to make $1 and I used to make a dime. Now boss makes $10 when I make a penny. And it kept going. And it was just all like, it was powerful stuff. It was written on the bathroom wall at an Amazon fulfillment center, and I was like, awesome.
I've actually seen that posted on Facebook. Actually,
Amazon, yeah. But then they talk about the number 2 billionaire in the world who pays his workers, his welders at his company's nuclear wages.
We know who that one is.
Yeah,
he's definitely not in the class of the scumbags that are doing the other shit.
But let's be completely fair though. Right? We're talking the difference here between the net worth and how much they actually have, right? Because Musk puts a lot of money in his company, right? A lot of that money goes back to helping his employees, helping other people, and furthering scientific endeavors. Bezos is literally just hoarding. None of that money that goes to Amazon is not getting any. Like as a company, they're not getting any of that money. That's going into Jeff Bezos' bank account. Up until
he's actually rolling it into his rocket company that still hasn't put anything into orbit.
Well, that's the thing is there is a conspiracy theory about that. There is a conspiracy theory about that. I want to point out that the conspiracy theory is that the reason why Blue Origin is not doing so high in that aspect is that they're trying to he's trying to compete with Musk, but he doesn't have the same drive and energy that Musk does.
Exactly.
Elon's got it all figured out.
Theory. I'd call that a fact.
No. So, but he's only, here's the conspiracy theory part. He's only trying to compete with Elon Musk so that people will compare him to Elon Musk.
Okay.
But in reality, Blue Origin isn't actually doing well because they're not putting the resources or time into it. So that way he can continue to pocket the money and act like he's as cool as Elon is.
Well, have you heard the latest tiff between Elon and Bill Gates?
Uh-oh.
No, I haven't. I know Bill was one of the people that came out against higher taxes for the rich. I know he did that, saying that it was like, well, if we take the money away from people who make so much amount a year, and then it's going to lead to. He's one of those trickle down economics guys, and I'm like, Bill, you're smarter than this.
No, he went off on Elon Musk because Elon was talking about vaccines and all that. Saying Bill Gates came off and said, Elon's crazy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know anything about vaccines and all this. Elon comes back and says, Bill, the company that Moderna and Pfizer is using, the machines that Moderna and Pfizer are using to build to make the corona vaccine is built by Tesla.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here's the thing, like a lot of people are like, oh, Bill Gates this, Bill Gates that, and all this other stuff. And like, yeah, Bill Gates did it. He did say a pretty awful thing about the higher tax. Because I do believe in that. I think, no, yeah, tax the rich, tax them extra. It's what we used to do back. That's how we got out of the Great Depression.
Yep.
They want to go back to the way
taxes on the corporations.
Here was something that was pointed out, and I love this. And they were talking about the new tax plan that they wanted to institute, that Biden wants to institute. The new tax plan that was going to, they were freaking out. Oh my God, it's good. People are going to be losing 50% of their paycheck and all this other stuff. It's going to take all this money. Okay. Yeah. It only affects those who make more than $100,000 a year. Not a single person complaining about this who isn't a CEO of a corporation is going to have to worry about their. In fact, it actually lowers the taxes on people who make less than $30,000 a year, which means more money for the lower class. And the thing about it is somebody crunched the numbers. It was like over a 4-year period with this tax thing, if it goes the way it's supposed to go over a 4-year period, right? If we instituted it immediately, at the end of those 4 years, all of the billionaires that live in the United States would still be billionaires, but we would have paid back China. That is how, like, that they broke it down in such a way to like point this out. We would have enough money to be able to pay back China, and every billionaire in the country would still be a billionaire. Mm-hmm. Every millionaire would still be a millionaire. I think some of the ones that only have $1 million would get hurt real bad. But like even the people that have $1 billion, they only have $1 billion. Yes, they would pay their taxes and they'd be below $1 billion. They'd make that money back up in the next year. Easy.
Probably the next month.
Yeah. And it was one of those things where it was like, it's a lot of people not paying their fair share, finding loopholes, doing that other stuff. It's like tax everybody. That's the thing. We have to come up with these whole entire like tax bracket things to tax everybody differently because of these scumbags not wanting to pay tax in the first place. If we put in we say, this is the way I look at it. Put it in as an official flat tax rate. Everybody pays 10%. That's it. Pays 10%. You know what 10% of $1 billion is?
Not much.
More than they're currently paying. That's the fact. The whole entire thing about
them are paying nothing.
You got to think about this from the perspective of somebody who's obviously I was born during the Reagan administration, so I barely remember him being on TV. I don't remember anything he said. I remember Bush, and I thought both Bushes I thought were were okay presidents. I didn't think they were the most magnificent things in the world, but they also kept pushing that thing that Reagan was talking about lowering the tax on the rich. It'll all trickle down and everybody will make money. But let me ask you this.
It ain't trickled down yet.
And let me ask you this. You guys, all 4 of us in this call, raise your hand if you were ever bullied in school. Everybody's been bullied, right? Everyone has been bullied. If somebody is a bully, do you think that they're going to reach their hand down to help pick you up? No, you have to force them to. You go to the teachers first, and the teachers won't do anything about it. You knock that motherfucker out, right? Sometimes you have to hit them back. And the thing I discovered when I was in school, I don't know about you guys, but when I was in school, if I was dealing with a bully and I fought back, the bully had respect for me after that. Sometimes we even became friends. Most of the time I was like, screw you, buddy. I don't want to have anything to do with you. But he would leave me alone, right? But I will say that with one of the bullies, me and him got into a fight, when we finally got we were both suspended. When we finally got out of suspension, I saw him on the bus. I looked at him. I was like, what the hell happened to you? He's like, I broke my knuckles on your face. And we had a laugh about it. We became buds after that. You know, that's the thing. Sometimes you gotta smack some sense into people. If you want to do that monetarily, you hit them right directly in the wallet. And I think that the tax thing works. So, and we've had proof of it working. Again, getting out of the Great Depression. What did we do? And the New Deal worked so well. And look at how we prospered after the New Deal. Look at how well that worked out. You want to talk about getting back in the day. Every family had a car. Every family had a house with a garage and that 2.3 children or whatever.
But that wasn't from the New Deal.
That was from the GI Bill.
No, I'm saying because you had the New Deal, got us out of the Great Depression, right? And then, of course, we had World War II, and that prolonged things a little bit. But as soon as we got out of World War II, man, things were popping. Everybody was doing good. It started, if I remember correctly, from my when I was learning about this stuff. If I remember correctly, that whole entire thing started in the 70s. That whole entire thing started with the starting to roll back a lot of those things of the taxing the rich and stuff like that. A lot of it started with Nixon, if I remember correctly.
A little bit, yeah, but it got its biggest boost with Reagan
in the 80s. Yeah, that was the Reaganomics screwed everything up. And I'm not saying Reagan was a bad president. I don't remember the man. I mean, I remember him. I know who he is. I saw him on TV and stuff like that. I've watched his movies and stuff, and I've seen a lot of stuff about him being president. The thing about it was Reagan did bring the country together, and he ran it pretty well. I would say as far as Republican presidents go, he's probably one of the best Republican presidents out there of the modern Republican era. Obviously, we're not, because there was that policy switch in the, during the civil rights movement and all that, where both sides decided to go the other way for some stupid reason. I don't know what. That's one of those that sparked the whole entire. There's only one party, and it's one party, two parties, one party masquerading as two parties thing. That was weird. I don't know where that conspiracy theory. Anyway, don't matter.
That comes from the attitude of they're all politicians. They're all crooked anyway. So.
Yeah, and it's sort of true. You don't.
It's the same coin with different sides.
You don't get into a lot of people. There's a lot of people that get it. You get into politics for one of two reasons, right? You get into politics for one of two reasons, right? You either want to help your fellow man, or you want the power. That's what it comes down to. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing with people that get into any of those roles that we see a lot of abuse in, right? See a lot of abuse in the military. Yeah, unfortunately, it does happen because a lot of people get into the military because they want to fight for our country. They want to help our country. And, obviously, get GI Bill and schooling and all that other stuff comes with it. That's a big incentive. But for a lot of these people, a lot of guys I know that went into the military went in because they were like, my father fought for my country, his father fought for his country, and his father fought for his country. I'm just doing my part to protect America. I'm like, you're awesome. And then, there's some guys who get into the military because they're like, they're going to give me a gun and I get to go out and kill people. John, don't raise your hand. That's awful. Come on. I'm saying those people are bad.
Don't tell me politicians aren't stupid. What billionaire spends billions of dollars for a job that pays $400,000 for 4 years?
Well, not all of them are billionaires. And if you're talking about one particular guy in particular, he wasn't a billionaire. In fact, he was barely a millionaire. But I'm not going to get into that right now.
And then you do have these guys that come in that are, maybe have $100,000 in their bank account. When they finally give it up 12, 14 years later, they're multi-billionaires.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you do that?
Was it AOC that was complaining that she couldn't find any place to live in Washington when she first got to be a senator and or represent whatever the hell she is?
Can I point out something about that real quick? Can I point out something about that since John brought it up? Y'all remember? Well, I don't know if everybody here knows. Terry, you guys remember Terry?
Which Terry?
Terry is let me see if I can find her last name on here. No, I think she's still going by her quote unquote fake name that she had to start using because she was getting a lot of harassment for being she's a huge Democrat. Like she's part of like the Democratic Moms Coalition or something. So I can't remember what she would go by at conventions. I will say this: she was one of you guys know Fiddle Bitch, Sarah Martin.
Yes.
She was one of Sarah Martin's friends. They're not on speaking terms anymore. She's coming to conventions all the time. She's a big gal, wore glasses, constantly had like the poodle skirts and stuff like that, and the dresses. She's very, very chic. Absolutely wonderful, sweet girl. She's come to Halicon a bunch of times. She came to your first Halicon, Joe Dog. And I mean, not your first Halicon, but the first one you ran. You know what I mean? I'm sure you guys have seen her at the conventions. Not only did she get an apartment, and she moved to DC recently because she got a teaching job up there because she's a teacher. And of course, she wanted to be part of the Democratic Coalition of Moms or whatever. But no, she moved up to DC. Not only did she find an apartment immediately, right? She's been living there less than a year. She's already moved to a bigger apartment. I don't understand what the hell AOC is talking about unless she just doesn't want to live around normal people, which kind of makes me not like, because I heard the same thing, Joe Dog, and it makes me kind of like, after what Terry's gone through, it made me sit there and look at it. It's like, I don't know if I like you anymore. Seems like you're kind of just as scummy as everybody else. I can't find an apartment because I don't want to live around normal working class people. I have to have a nice fancy condo out with all the other fancy people that work in Congress. Yeah, I tell you, if I was somebody, this is the whole entire reason I'll never get into office, but if I was somebody who's going to run for office, right? Yeah, I'd live in a absolute dumping of an apartment. I wouldn't even care because what more do you need? You basically need a place to sleep, pee, eat, and get on the internet. That's all you need. And you don't even need the internet part really, but I mean, come on. What are we going to do without this thing?
The second richest man in the world lives in a freaking Airstream trailer with his hippie chick girlfriend and a love child.
But you can't. A little sick of him talking about Elon all the time.
Well, it's a damn truth.
But no, like I'm the same way though. If let's say the filming career takes off, right? If the filming career takes off and I end up making Spielberg amounts of money, no, I'll take that back. If I end up making Lucas amounts of money, right? Enough money that I can buy my own ranch with multiple buildings on it. You know what I'm talking about not Neverland, Skywalker Ranch, right? If I'm able to purchase something like that, you know what kind of place I'm going to be living in? I'm just going to find me a house, a small little house. I just need enough room for me and my stuff. Who needs a McMansion? You don't need all of that. I don't understand the idea behind having all of that stuff. See, I agree with Elon on that. Like, yeah, no, you just need what you need. You don't need all this other stuff. You're talking about like, oh, I'm going to have a house that's going to have this, that, and the other thing. It's going to have 42 bedrooms.
Is it really?
Oh, she's nodding at you too. But no, you don't need all of that.
Oh, Heather!
You know,
we got Heather wound up enough to sign in.
Well, I was gonna say you don't need all of that stuff. You don't need any of that. You know, get just the amount that you need to live for you and your family. I don't understand why you look at a guy like, and I'll tell you, the ones that really offend me are the guys that are just absolutely corrupt and horrible. Joel Osteen, the television preacher guy, right? Is a total scumbag, rips off his entire parish. He's horrible and he's an absolute monster and everything else. That guy has a house that has like something like 17 bedrooms in it or something. The house is gigantic. It's a huge mansion, right? And I said, no, you don't need all of that. You don't need that. It's those kind of people that I don't like. And that's what I'm talking about with this whole entire thing. I'm like, you couldn't find it. You couldn't find a place in DC, one of the places in the country that has like the cheapest apartments possible. There's places I can move to DC right now and be able to afford to live there. It's cheaper in Knoxville than it is here. You know what I'm saying? It's insane. All right. You know, you're going to get us copyright struck. You're going to get us copyright struck. You better stop it, John. All right. I can picture his face. I can picture the album cover. I can picture the album cover where he's underwater with the goggles on. He's wearing the suit and his hair is flowing.
Part of the James gang, the Eagles.
I know he's from the Eagles, but I can't remember his name.
And the James.
Joe Walsh. Thank you. Joe Walsh. Yes.
If you have a music question, I am here.
Well, I can usually remember this shit, man. I DJ for a living. But I sit there and I was like, I could not remember Joe Walsh's name. I love that song. I love anything Joe Walsh does. Oh, Joe Dog's dogs are fighting again. Heather, how are you doing? Why are you not speaking?
You made me forget something. No, Heather, please. We miss you.
Sorry, this has been a very, very hectic time in my life.
Well, yeah, nursing school, no kidding.
But I'm almost done. 3 more weeks.
Hey,
you doing all right?
You're never done learning.
Oh no, definitely not. Because I do this and then I immediately jump into studying for my NCLEX. I have a year of residency. Then I go into my bachelor's program.
Yep. And the further you go, the better you're going to be able to help people.
And also the more money you're going to spend.
That's immaterial.
Well, I've done my research on my schools, so I won't be paying more than $3,000 a semester.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That is great.
Because I found a school in Kentucky. I only have to show up for campus for 5 hours at the beginning of the program. The rest of it is online, and they have preceptors all over Tennessee. So I never have to go to Kentucky. Minus that 5 hours.
Minus that 5 hours. Where's the 5 hours you've got to spend? Where's that located?
Northeastern Kentucky.
Northeastern.
Give me a second, and I'll tell you where it is.
I probably have relatives there.
Let's put it this way. Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, I've been there. I used to go camping in that canyon. by myself. And people left me alone. And I didn't even take a banjo. Oh, now I remember. It was a corollary to something that Skunk was saying. What we have nowadays is a lot of politicians. What we need are fewer politicians and more statesmen. If you can see the difference between the two. A politician is in it for the money. A statesman's in it for the good of his constituency and basically everybody. There you go. Yeah, I remember that. I've got that on vinyl. I sound so hipster when I say that, but no, I had it when it was new.
It's in Versailles, Kentucky.
Versailles.
Yeah.
Well, that's how you say it in French. Versailles.
We're not in French.
No, and I don't know how they say it in Kentucky neither, because that
Kentucky
accent
is in the South.
Yeah, well, I don't
But it's
know.
spelled Versailles. So yeah, it would be Versailles.
Versailles, yeah.
Yes, Skunk.
I just want to bring up a thing real quick that Nick Talker posted on Facebook. I don't know if y'all had seen it, but this was a tweet that he reposted on his Facebook page. It says, "A professor of mine went to go hear Derrida speak once. The entire talk was about cows. Everyone was flummoxed, but listened carefully and took notes about cows. There was a short break, and when Derrida came back, he was like, 'I'm told it's pronounced chaos.'"
Somebody has an accent, I do believe.
How?
He ain't from around here, is he?
I don't know.
I do that rather well, don't I?
What?
When I was writing on this script, I was, writing from the heart and everything else, with the way that I write. It's just Knoxville Horror Film Festival script. When I was writing on this stuff, I sent it to Audrey to get the what do you think so far of what I've got? Audrey was like, "That sounds like
Give me a second.
Sounds like a real character. Sounds like a real person." You know what I mean?
Well, that's good writing.
Because I was writing it like this, I was just let's see. I'll put a script here. The one character is being like, well, I explained I'm from the university in Knoxville and I'm studying for my psychology degree. And then here's the character that I had gotten the compliment on, and I talked about this on Nevermind the Furthermore. Said his name's Paw. You gonna be one of them head shrinkers, eh? Well, something like that. Looking at more of a criminal psychology degree, trying to figure out why criminals do what they do. Well, hell, son, I could tell you that. The devil done got into him. You do believe in the good Lord Jesus Christ, don't you? As I tells you, we really don't have a problem with crime around here in these parts, unlike in your cities. So I'm not sure what kind of help would really be. But I know so many guys that talk like that.
Mm-hmm.
And my buddy was reading it. It's just like, I could hear the voice in my head. I was like,
I got something like that last month. There was a Star Trek group, and somebody had proposed a meeting between the hologram doctor from Voyager and a hologram of Dr. McCoy from Classic Trek.
oh, God, no. Not those two together in a room.
It set me off, and I went ahead and typed out a few paragraphs.
Oh.
And the next 50 The next 50 comments were going, I can hear both of their voices. You do that so well. And I go, well, yeah, that's why they get little bitty bucks for being a.
We said his name too many times. It's like Beetlejuice. He shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've summoned.
I just don't have young Winona Ryder.
Hi, Heather. I never get to see you.
Hey.
So hi. So how
Yeah,
you
I
guys
couldn't fall
doing?
asleep. The husband's asleep on the couch, so I was just like, it's early enough. Let's jump on.
I swear, by the way, I'm going to end up having to play this character in the script because I just know exactly how the line should be read. Would y'all like to hear a little expert that he's got? This little kind of, it's almost a monologue. There's only one other line that the other character says. Would you guys like to hear it?
Sure. Go for it.
Listen, kid, I ain't too bright. I dropped out in the 9th grade to help my daddy run his engine repair business. I ain't finished no school, didn't need to. I work on lawnmowers all day for fun and a bit of extra drinking money. Old lady ain't got no education here. She got that disability check from government every month. Believe me when I say I don't know much, but I do know what the word urban means. Now, does this look like a damn city to you? Well, I mean, you do have a community here where, don't sass me, boy, this ain't even the goddamn suburbs, forgive me, Lord. And another thing, anyone who comes around here asking about Tucker Creek is either looking for trouble or is as stupid as they is brave. I'm going to end up having to be that character when we film this thing.
Yeah, when
I'm going to have to grow my beard. I'm going to have to grow my beard out. I'm going to have to grow my beard out like Carl's got it. Just big.
That's what I was thinking.
Got to.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Cat
That's
just pulled
quite
the
all
dog's
right.
ass.
Well,
Good for her.
That's what cats are for.
But yeah, that was a small little excerpt from the script.
That was very well done. That was very, very well done.
I like that. My favorite part about that's when he interrupts and he goes, "Don't sass me, boy." There's a line at the very beginning. There's a line at the very beginning where the characters meet because the main character of the film, I'm writing him as a person of color. There's a line at the very beginning of the film, and he says "boy," right? We're from the South. It don't matter about skin color. If you're a younger guy and you meet somebody who's Southern as hell, he's gonna call you boy. And he gets all indignant about it. He's like, boy, he's like, hey, ain't a race thing. You're younger than me, ain't you?
I gotta thank from the guy that did the voice acting for the audio book of my last book that came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I had provided him a pronunciation guide and recording of me doing my version of the character. And he goes, "Oh, that's awesome, thank you." And he came back. He did the entire story, and he nailed the character so well that I don't want to do it myself anymore. He's got the voice. He's got the voice down.
There was an advertisement whenever you would watch Zero Punctuation, which is a video game review show on YouTube and on the escapist.com. It's done by this guy, Yahtzee Croshaw. And he in the commercial, he was talking about the audiobook for the audiobook version of his novel, Will Save the Galaxy for Cash. And he's like, it's the same exact thing that I wrote in the book. The only difference is you'll know how the names are pronounced.
Yeah, I had to provide a pronunciation guide for all the aliens that I made up. So, yeah, I mean, because I can hear the words in my head doesn't mean that anybody reading it knows how they're said.
It's like we were talking about earlier. It's pronounced chaos.
Yeah, really.
Thank you, Nick, for posting that, by the way. I read that post. That was funny as hell.
Oh.
He's at least the backdrop isn't attacking him this time.
Yeah.
I'm going to the fridge. I'll be right back.
Well, there's speaking of that entire situation involving the word chaos, there is a and it was for a long time a debate with the Sonic the Hedgehog fans on whether or not the little blob creatures in the Sonic the Hedgehog games were referred to as cows or KOs.
Chows.
Well, I'm thinking KO because it's chaos, right? KO, if you take the S off the end, it would be KO. If you put the S on, it's chaos. But they're saying it should be pronounced cow because it's, CHAO. And if you're pronouncing it with a hard C sound, it'd be cow, right? And I'm sitting there. I don't even remember I think in one of the later Sonic the Hedgehog games, one of the ones that had real voice acting in it, I think they do end up pronouncing it cow. And I think that's so stupid. Uh-oh. You've got a friend in me, apparently. Oh, no, it's a Lego.
It's not going to focus.
He's muted the mic.
He's muted his mic, so he can't hear him.
Sorry, I got interrupted with parental Tourette's. So I left your broadcast on the big screen out of the living room, which is where I usually watch it when I don't, when I'm not up to commenting because my hands won't work or whatever. And Xander had to come running in to tell me, well, Dad, you're on TV. For whatever reason, there's about a 30-second.
So you actually got to see yourself on TV?
So, yeah, he was confused as how I was on TV in the living room when I was standing in the living room, not in the study.
Are you still on TV in the living room?
No, because occasionally Skunk isn't Xander friendly, which is fine. That's on us.
Neither am I.
Well, exactly. But right now Minecraft is on the living room because priorities.
Nicholas, yes. I want to point this out very, very clearly. I didn't know that we had a child-based audience at all. And we do let the occasional bad word slip. Joe Dog's done it, John's done it, Dan's done it. I think
there's no shots, and that's why I switch it.
I'm just saying.
I know what I'm getting into. This was not a shot on you.
If Xander's gonna watch the show, I will watch my language. Because we do. I want everybody to be able to enjoy the show, and I don't want
to mess it up.
We're not mess it up. I don't think I'm messing anything up. I just don't want to make anybody uncomfortable. That's my thing. I think we can all agree on that.
Usually this is something that's kind of one of my big releases when I'm not having to be teacher, caretaker dad, or work dad, or the usual, I get to be the goofball who pops up in costume, or as a Lego man, or has his undead assistant come dropping in because these things happen to mitigate the shock of
that's still a very, very fun dad.
Can we have assistants on this show?
Oh, yeah.
He does.
Oh,
he does.
Hold on one second. I'll be right back. I'll go grab an assistant.
Oh, God. Heaven help me from the things that are running through my mind as possibilities right now.
I think there's going to be an air pump involved.
I think it's going to be Joe.
he just comes over and flying tackles Joe.
I think he's going to bring his roommate.
Oh.
One of them.
What? I have my headphones off. I didn't hear any of what you just said.
Good.
That's good. Yeah.
Let's see your assistant. Who's your assistant?
Are you all taking bets?
Pretty much.
No.
Not yet,
right.
but I mean,
okay.
Oh, that's so cute.
I need to find Monsieur.
Guys, just so you know, I was ready. Had he stood up, he was going off screen.
Here.
Oh! This is one of my. This is one of part of my skunk collection. Look at him. He's adorable. I wonder. I have so many.
That's got to be Nick. Nobody else is that random. Oh, there you go.
Yes, that's
That's
cool.
Lydia, my executive assistant.
Oh shit!
Did you set the fire alarm off? What are you doing?
I don't know.
So much for
Wait,
Xander
something
friendly.
weird happened and it wasn't my fault.
Oh, that's unusual, isn't it?
I know.
He walked in.
Is-
This is
is
true.
that really?
100% true. 100% true. Joe knocked on the door. I was like, hold on, I got somebody knocking on the door. And I turned around and look. He opens up the door. He comes in and he's sliding his pants down. What the hell are you doing? He's sliding his pants down, just showing off his boxer shorts, right? And then the fire alarm went off.
Evidently, he's hot.
Apparently.
I did not know Heather could blush, but she just did.
I'm not blushing. It's just like,
Lies!
okay. Okay.
Wait. Joe, you just said you did not know Heather could blush. And we have made her blush on numerous occasions on
Yes.
this show.
All you got to do is hang around with this crowd.
All right, I'm going to go find out what he set on fire. I'll be right back.
All right.
Good luck.
If the microwave needs to be replaced, don't call me.
I have a Hamilton Beach mixer that has to
Anybody?
be rebuilt.
You only need that if his roommate comes back in.
Hey, I've got a microwave out in my building that is Alexa enabled.
That sounds like a horrible mistake.
That's why it's out in the building and not plugged up.
I don't think that matters. Those
this
things probably have a teeny tiny little
No.
nuclear reactor in them.
this is something I wanted to do when y'all were talking about money.
Yes,
Alexa.
yes, Penny.
How long is 1,000,000 seconds?
1,000,000 seconds is 1 week and 5 days.
Alexa, how long is 1,000,000,000 seconds?
1,000,000,000 seconds is 31 years and 9 months.
Alexa, how long is 1,000,000,000,000 seconds?
1,000,000,000 seconds is 31,710 years.
If you could spend $1 billion a second or $1 a second, it would take you 31,000 years to spend $1 trillion. Our government can do it with the stroke of a pen.
And does frequently.
But not to me.
That's the problem.
It really. As long as they're printing money, I mean, my bank account is an open book to the IRS.
He's got a
Oh,
sparkly pig.
He claims that it was a cigarette set the fire alarm off, but
I kind of am doubtful about that one, Skunk.
What kind of cigarette?
Yeah, that was the next question.
No, we don't need to answer that on prime time.
yeah. Well, I don't know, but he claims the cigarette.
Now, did he have a bowl of chili before he lit the cigarette? That's the question.
It's
he
getting
usually
here, so turn on Skunk's alarm.
he's usually the one that cooks in the house. But one night I told him we made sure that the night we were going to do this was the night that we were going to sit there and we were going to watch a movie, because I had to watch a movie for Scrub House Video Club. We were going to watch a movie. And I was like, this was the night. I was like, all right, it's happening. I go into the other room and I made a chili dip. I used no bean chili. I usually use rum in this recipe, but I didn't have any rum. I just had Crown Royal, so I used a little bit of Crown Royal, Frank's Red Hot. I used stadium style cheddar, and there was a few other little odds and ends that I mixed in there. But I made this dip, and I put it into 2 bowls. We set the bowls down, and I mean, I watched. He was sitting there, he was eating it. It's like, oh my god, how good! And he was going on about how good it was, and I was like, see, I can freaking cook.
Ingles finally got Velveeta white queso.
Oh,
I like getting Gordos.
You know what I miss? I'll tell you exactly what I miss. Walmart used to sell flavored cans of chicken meat. And not just regular white breast. They had a bunch of flavors. They had lemon pepper, which was my favorite.
Was it their Great Value brand or the Stunts?
It was Great Value. It was Great Value, right? They used to have lemon pepper, which was my favorite. They had a like a teriyaki one. They had a buffalo one, a fajita one. They had a bunch of them. I really like the lemon pepper, but I always like to buy the lemon pepper because I like to eat it. I'd buy a bunch of cans of that. The lemon pepper was so good. But I'd also occasionally buy a can of the fajita and a can of the buffalo. If I ever wasn't feeling good, if I ever needed to like clear out my sinuses or something like that, I'd combine the two together, make it like almost like a tortilla soup, almost like a chicken tortilla soup. Except without, I'm not a big fan of veggies, so I wouldn't put any veggies in it. So it would just be the buffalo, the fajita sauce, a little bit of rum, and a lot of water and some olive oil, and I'd mix it all together with chicken and everything, and I'd pour it into a bowl, and I'd sit there and I'd spoon and then I'd eat it. And oh my god, it's so good. A fajita sauce and a buffalo sauce mixing together. Oh, you're talking about. But I mean, you knew later that you were going to have a medical emergency somewhere in a restroom, and you kind of didn't want to do it at your own house. You kind of wanted to wait until you had to go to the gas station or something. You know what I'm saying?
This is
so innocent victim would have to deal with the consequences of your diet.
Yeah, go to the
Waffle House.
What?
Waffle House is used to that.
Hold on for a second. I'll be right back.
Nick, did you hear my waffle? Did you hear my Walmart story?
No.
I got approached by some jerk at Walmart saying, about going to berate me about my mask. So I told him, my mask isn't, to protect me from catching COVID. It's to prevent me from spreading COVID to you because I'm just coming off the tail end of it. He did backflips trying to get away from me.
I like my reaction or the reactions that I get to cause.
What?
People want to call me a sheep for wearing a mask.
Yeah.
I was 5 foot from a COVID patient yesterday. Let me take my mask off to make you happy.
What do they do?
They step away really quick. You see the face drop, and then they start slowly stepping away. Or, no, it's okay. You can keep your mask on.
That has got to be.
You all right?
You okay?
No, that's my response when somebody starts bugging me about wearing my mask.
For a moment there, I was going to prescribe a fifth of Bushmills.
We had to switch to widescreen, everybody, so that he could be in the shot.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see what John's got.
Oh,
beer,
Flying Cauldron butterscotch beer,
non-alcoholic.
You lost me on the
Good
non-alcoholic.
man.
Oh no,
Good man.
You don't
There's
understand.
nothing wrong with non-alcoholic beer. We'd have it all the time down at the arena because this what
This
That does
stuff
the boy
is
straight in.
wonderful. Just I could sit here and just smell it and not drink it. It's that good. I mean,
Well, see, that's a good stuff.
Have a good night,
Good
Carl.
night, Carl.
Good night, Carl.
Thanks for dropping in. We appreciate it.
Carl, I might put a picture up related to the comics review show that Brian did involving Eric Hawkins. I'm not sure if the imp of perversity has got me hard enough to do it yet. But like that little horrible, I had an idea. But yeah.
And
Walked
Sean
in at the
Thompson
right
says
time.
he just got here in time.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, I did watch all but the last 15. Well, I hope it was the last 15 minutes.
Well, the
Brian
thing I'm
showed
saying
tonight.
is that this part of the show is only going to go for about another 8 minutes, and then I'm going to bed because I got to work in the morning.
Well, so do I.
All
but
right,
I'll
and
alarm
we're
clock
gonna-
goes off.
we're also going to do what we did Saturday night. We're going to run the outro, and then right after the outro, we're going to run the intro to the after show and stay right here on the channel.
Right on. And do you want me to do the Rising Tide promo again?
That would be nice since we have not done it tonight.
Yeah.
Well,
And you do it
stupid-
so well. You do it so well.
I know.
You have talent, Skunk.
I'm good at some things. Let me do that real quick.
Yeah, but we
Stupid
can't
o'clock
talk
and-
about the rest of them.
I can't talk if you're talking. 7 o'clock in Armchair Rocket Science are proud members of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, and Rising Tide races all ships. It is our program schedule at all times for Eastern. Sunday, Comics Chaos and Sass 10 p.m. on Facebook. Mondays, Never Mind the Furthermore at 10 a.m. on Facebook and YouTube. Tuesdays, Clever Title Pending at 8 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. TED Talks at 10 a.m. on YouTube. Wednesdays, Never Mind the Furthermore at 10 a.m. on Facebook and YouTube. Thursdays, TED Talks at 10 a.m. on YouTube, Comic Book Spectrum at 7 p.m. on Facebook, Creative as Hell at 8 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube, and Stupid O'Clock at 9 p.m. on YouTube. Friday is going to be Never Mind the Furthermore, 10 a.m. on Facebook and YouTube. Drew with the Davies at 6 p.m. on YouTube. Michaela Jade's Tidbits and Scribbles at 7 p.m. on YouTube. And the Historical Frenzy Guild with Nick Target at 8 p.m. on YouTube. Saturday is going to be Stupid O'Clock at 11 p.m. on YouTube. And we have the Wildcard Show. Armchair Rocket Science will air whenever launches are scheduled by NASA, SpaceX, or Blue Origin on YouTube. www.facebook.com/Rising Tide Broadcast Network for more information.
Oh, it's reserved.
And then everything went really quiet all of a sudden.
I turned off everyone's mic so you wouldn't be interrupted.
See, Joe sat there all patiently. You guys couldn't do that? Come on.
I'm
Nope.
good at this.
God!
Nick, why did you throw your little spider?
It's a spider.
I didn't kill it with fire. I'm getting better.
Well, see there.
Get up for work this morning, and I was running late because I didn't feel all that great early this morning, and partially because we were out of beer last night, so I had to have a nightcap of Crown Royal. So when I woke
That was
up,
a good nightcap.
But I walk into the kitchen and I'm grabbing my stuff for the day, and I'm about to leave. When there he goes running across the floor, and I was like, "No, that's I
blame the neighbors
I was in a mood. Yeah, we keep getting roaches. We think it's from the neighbors.
because
I thought
hey,
it was a hobo
Skunk.
Borax.
Skunk, they
Borax.
have found a natural predator to the German cockroach.
Is
Go
it a cat?
on.
The huntsman spider from Australia.
Oh, fuck that shit.
No,
I
Go.
like spiders.
It's the
Skunk.
huntsman.
Skunk.
That thing's
Go
evil.
find some borax and go around the border of your apartment and just put a line of it around the border of your apartment, the floorboards in the corners, and that will help to keep them out.
That sounds
Now,
awesome.
It
Now, just
won't,
Like
it
work.
won't
remember-
keep them out.
It's important.
It will dissolve them when they walk through it.
So it's melting spiders.
Now I will say that
It's to keep the cockroaches from settling in your house.
Yeah.
Because when you live in apartment complexes, when one person
this isn't a
bombs,
complex. This is a duplex.
Yeah.
when one person bombs, it goes from one apartment to the next apartment. And it's just a never-ending battle.
Unless you
So-
want the whole building.
I don't know
If you put the
guys can see
borax
this right here.
around the perimeter
Yeah.
of your apartment,
It's not borax.
It-
That's what you use in your laundry.
You
It's
see
boric
this?
acid.
See this thing right here on my arm?
I just always use 20,
I don't know what
either
bug
10 mule
bit
or
me.
20
20
mule.
mule
20
borax.
mule theme.
I've
Yeah.
always
Well,
used 20 mule
it may
borax.
have enough. It may have enough of the boric acid in it too.
Yeah,
That
that's
stuff
why
right there.
I just keep getting bit by something.
I am sorry. No, one of my roommates from college did a scientific study, caught a cockroach as well about that big, and put it in a glass jar and put boric acid in it. And there was not a cockroach in the jar 3 days later.
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah.
Double
Joe, will you
clutching
let me
too
do
much.
it? Joe, will you let me do it? Dan was explaining something. I was waiting until he finished the sentence. I didn't want to be rude.
Well,
You see that, friend?
apparently the boric acid actually attacks the chitin in the cockroach exoskeleton and dissolves.
His problem is that he's wearing these glasses, and if you face forward again, look, it's the green screen effect is cutting through because it's green.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure out why he dissolves mildly.
Well, it's my eyes are time.
That was a 20 milton borax. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's mostly blue. So let's see what happens if I do this. So I switch over here and let me change the backdrop color to blue. There you go.
I am time.
Your shadows show up as green.
I know.
And
That's
it
weird.
is.
And your shirt's gone.
It's time.
Well, this one's gone. There.
This isn't gone.
I'll do this.
He is time.
We got to go touch the face of God, folks.
It's time to say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. We'll catch y'all Saturday night, 11 o'clock.
I have slept the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand, and touched the face of God.
Oh, hi. Sorry.
Yeah, I told you not to sign the damn divorce papers.
Oh no, she's just asleep. I have to handle the spiders while she's asleep.
Well, insurance money.
I'm worth more to her alive than dead, I think.
Yeah, that's what I keep telling my wife too, but I don't think she believes me quite yet.
Well,
there was a millionaire on the Titanic that said the same thing.
Well,
there were several millionaires on the Titanic, actually.
my wife found the letter that my life insurance had been canceled from my job. She goes, "What's this?" I told her, that was while I was employed. They had a $25,000 life insurance policy on me. She says, "And it's no good anymore." And I said, "Yeah." She said, "Don't eat that."
Funeral costs are extra.
Actually, FEMA is covering a lot of funeral costs these days if you can prove that someone died from COVID.
They are.
That wouldn't be hard to do. Anybody will fill out that paperwork.
Unfortunately, the website and the phone numbers and everything got inundated the first day. So.
Well, ain't that just a kick in the head?
The only time my life is ever going to be in danger is if I buy a 55-gallon drum. My wife is going to kill me in self-defense.
Let's see here.
Hey, that's about like that lady that, she was arrested for killing her husband. She shot him 15 times, claiming self-defense with a revolver.
Well, see, now you don't know this, but I'm up from near Gary, Indiana, where a fella committed suicide by hitting himself in the back of the head with a ball-peen hammer 38 times. Now, about the fifth shot was apparently fatal, but this was a very determined man.
Mm-hmm.
So what did he know about Hillary?
He was poor. He didn't know anything about the Clintons. No,
yeah, that's what they want you to think.
I have no beef with any major political party who can and likely would assassinate me. Just to be clear, across the board. Now, at least for the next couple days while I'm still a librarian.
Oh, is that coming to it? Oh, yeah, that's right. It is.
Saturday is my last day librarianing, which of course got rescheduled in the middle of my wife's 5-day vacation.
Are there other libraries you can submit a resume to in the area?
I could, but I'm going to take the time to focus on Xander and my writing and such. It'll be better. It's just, I like being a librarian, so.
Yeah,
but it'll be nice to, not be a public servant, so I can be a little more open about what I'm doing at any given point too. It's sort of like I was a substitute teacher for a while, and I had to stop because they didn't like that I was an artist. Not that I put out anything inappropriate, but it was enough that they were uncomfortable. So, yeah, we live in a very strange world. And
tell me about it.
I guess that's why cancel culture doesn't surprise me very much, whichever side of it you think you're on at any given point. But
I had a government job. I know exactly what it's like.
I have to keep reminding the people where I work that I know where all the bodies are buried.
Well, the thing that gets me is I didn't realize how much the political neutrality that I have in local government is still ingrained. That one of the candidates came and knocked on my door and talked to me for a little while and asked if they could put a sign in my yard, and I went, nope. I've been away from the damn job for 6 years.
Yep.
And in 10 times that, you might be allowed to have a sign in your yard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Of course, when my old boss died, I made the comment of, I sure hope he's cremated because the grass will never grow where he's at.
Nice.
I do think I need to clarify for Nick because he doesn't know me very well. I've been working at that place for 43 years now.
Yeah.
So I've seen every single abuse that has been committed there in the name of the almighty dollar. And I remember everything, and I've taken notes, and they are in a locked strong box buried somewhere, and my lawyer has instructions as to how to find it and dig it up if anything ever happens to me.
You were talking in one of my favorite. It's an old movie. I think it was called Safe House,
Mm-hmm.
and it featured Patrick Stewart as a retired spy.
Mm-hmm.
But he was developing dementia. And every day he'd have to log on to a website and put in a Chinese character because there were like so many thousand variants. So, it would be nearly uncrackable. To not send the email out that had all the evidence to everyone down the chain.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get a chance to see it, I'm not giving it nearly enough credit because it's just a powerhouse performance of him.
Oh, yeah.
It was. I think it was one of the first. Okay, I'm done being Captain Picard. I want to do a role other than that to just sort of break out a bit. And it really is a brilliant kind of cerebral thriller.
Have you seen the one where he's Captain Nemo?
Picard played Nemo?
Yep.
No, I need to.
You need to look that up.
That was one of his first roles after Star Trek.
The Nemo or the
Nemo?
I missed that one. Thank you. That gives me something to look forward to because I love Patrick Stewart as an actor. Like,
and
I could go Star Trek, Picard, great, one of the best written characters, pretty much in all of sci-fi, way up there.
One thing I forgot.
It also doubles as a kaiju movie if you like your kaiju about 14 feet tall.
Yeah, that's a kaiju, not a daikaiju, so I'm all about it.
Actually, I meant to throw this up during Stupid O'Clock. There's this great book on Amazon called Abducted, a Tom Darby adventure by Dan L. Hollifield.
You want the prequel. That I know what you're doing. You want me to finish the prequel.
I just needed to get that up there. We need to get that out every now and then.
That's called plugs. That would be like me saying how I've got all these things done with the Big Stompy Robots line, and I'm working on a new novella or about Hybrids, the Sons of God.
Hey Dan, how much you been drinking tonight?
Let's see. Not quite enough, but
I just got a quick test. Let me know. Does everything look normal?
Nope. She definitely looks Korean.
Hang on a second. You guys said he played Captain Nemo, right?
Yep.
Are you sure you're not thinking of Captain Ahab from Moby Dick?
Nope. I've got it on DVD. He did do. I don't know if it's Mysterious Island. Yes, it. No, it's not Mysterious Island. No, it's not 20,000 Leagues. It is Mysterious Island.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not finding it. I did see that he played Captain Ahab. I knew that, but
I mean,
hey, he's very good at that. This one, let's see.
He was a real asshole. Didn't want the guy to be there. And whoever the butler or whatever his associate was the one that convinced Nemo to let him stay.
Yes,
It would have been the first officer of the submarine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Captain Nemo. What he played Captain Nemo on Mysterious Island. It was a 2005 TV movie, and it was on USA Network with Kyle MacLachlan.
Okay. What?
And Gabrielle Anwar.
Okay, 2005. It's way up there. No, well, they said right after Star Trek. Down here.
Well, I think this was after he thought he was done doing Star Trek movies. No, you know what? Captain Patrick Stewart. What was it? Safe House. Let me see when Safe House.
Steamboy.
Safe House was the one I was talking about, and it is, if I remember right, that's the title, and it was done in 1998. Yes, and he has Alzheimer's. Okay. Yes, and that was the one that was right after Star Trek.
Yeah.
Hey, you mentioned Captain Nemo with Patrick Stewart, and you failed to mention that Gabrielle Anwar was in it.
We didn't realize that. We're too busy watching Patrick Stewart. I'd forgotten about Kyle MacLachlan. He's one of my favorite actors. Hey, if you don't get back here, the Shoggoth is going to attack you again. I have them under remote control.
You say that, not knowing how close to potentially accurate you are.
I have the remote.
And you know what? I love the way my brain works, because I still keep a margin of wonder. And by keeping a margin of wonder, my mind does strange things. I'm 99.9 repeating that you couldn't pull it off. But honest to God, somewhere in my mind is the point something chance that Dan Hollifield just might. And that's what keeps my life interesting. You know, we were driving down the road, right? We're driving down the road. We went up to get some shoes and stop off and look at the buffalo, because there's a buffalo thing up here with bison not far from here.
Yeah.
And my wife's driving because, my hands, I don't drive in the city very much.
Stay.
Anyway, we stop and there's an edible arrangements truck, you know, with the little they have the frozen fruit and chocolate dipped things in a bouquet. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at my wife and I go, you know, I'm 95% sure that the guys from Psych aren't in the back of that rig right now for some reason eating all those. But I can't be 100% sure. And she looked at like she could see it was Dule Hill and Rode. I can't remember his first name. It just fell off. But if you haven't watched Psych, you should. It's brilliant. But you know, I'm just like, and that's where I live. I live in this odd place where there's always this little thin percentage of the impossible, or you know, where the impossible and the unbelievably unlikely overlap. I choose to let run in the back of my mind because the world is so much more interesting.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There's a pretty good chance that the supernatural guys have gone by you then.
Oh, every time I see a black Impala come cruising by, every time I stop and I watch it go, and I'm like, no, keep going. We're safer with the monster than you boys. Just keep going.
But have y'all ever seen the picture of the Ecto-1, the Mystery Machine, and the black Impala parked at a service station?
Yes. Like,
yes.
What is going down there?
You know it's about to go down.
Going down right now. Now, Nick,
yes.
Do you know what my first car was?
Have I been drinking, or is my okay? All right.
You've been blurring a bit. Oh, what was your first car, Dad?
Was a navy blue Impala, 2-door. And I won't tell you that we found Jimmy Hoffa in the trunk, but
I'm not, dude. I don't want to know. Let me explain. The Fae and the Mafia operate exactly the same way. I believe they likely exist, but I want no confirmation. Hands off. Not my part, not my problem.
not my circus, not my
Nick,
monkeys.
you want to know what my first car was?
Sure.
72 Chevelle Super Sport, small block. You know, the bucket seats, the airplane shifter in the middle. Pass everything on the road but a gas station.
Yep.
I will tell you my first car to tell you the car that matters. But my first car was a 1989. I think it was 89. Chevy Cavalier station wagon. The underside of all the doors we cut the rust off and bolted together old motorcycle license plates to form the underside of the doors, and then hit it with the only spray paint we had, which was this triple thick black engine paint, like tractor paint. Like it was one notch from the consistency of rhino lining. And that was my car for years. The car that I had that matters, and my wife right now, though sound asleep, is twitching because it's her fault it died, was a 1984 Pontiac Sunbird convertible. White, dove gray interior with the blood red instruments and the factory stock turbocharger. And to the day I die, I will say turbo lag is a religious experience. And if you haven't got it, you don't understand. Because I think it is, is it the fastest way to get going fast? No. Did that little four-banger eat V6s for breakfast and chew on V8s for lunch? Yes. But I'm telling you, you'd step on it and the whole world would crystallize. Every time and motion, you'd be driving along and decide, I'm going fast now. And there's this breath where the whole engine just going, and everything freezes, and then you just clap into a warp speed. Oh my God, I love that car.
My Impala was a 1970, and I had flipped the top of the air cleaner over so that the filter had air going in all the way around instead of just to the snout. Mm-hmm. Step on the gas, kick in the 4-barrel. It would sit there and go, "You sure about this?" And then
think about your life, think about your choices.
It would roar like Godzilla and go 0 to 60 in about 11 seconds, and not stop there.
Oh yeah.
Because it was something though. Yeah, Joe, go for it, Joe.
During the possession of the 72 Chevelle Super Sport, I also had me and my dad traded back and forth a 65 Mustang GT coupe.
Oh.
Not the fastback.
No.
Goodness. And coupe. There's very little of that left at my age.
Yeah. And it only had 40,000 miles on it in the 80s.
And most of it was in bat out of hell mode, I would assume.
Yeah. And then I got rid of the Chevelle. I ended up with a 1978 Bandit Trans Am.
I wondered why she married you.
It was a Van Nuys Blackbird. One of 69 made. One of only 2 that were automatics. According to record, do you know who got the 2 automatics?
Burt Reynolds?
And Hal Needham. Mine came out of Atlanta. came.
So we can pretty much assume it wasn't Hal's.
No, Hal actually lived in Atlanta at the time.
Oh,
Still, dear Lord.
Yes,
I mean-
I had rare cars.
Why? What unholy incident made you get rid of that? I have to ask.
He killed it. He's 32 and named Greg.
You don't want your son driving the same stock that you drove.
You got to be able to put kids in a back seat.
Trying to get a car seat in the back seat of a Trans Am. You ever tried to put a car seat in the back seat of a Trans Am?
Yes.
Have you ever tried to put a car seat in the back seat of a car with 2 doors?
Yes. So it's like I can understand it, but it hurts my soul. And I am in mourning again for another vehicle.
Oh my goodness. Y'all made me remember. I used to have a 2-door Capri.
I was raised
with
in
a 400.
a Le Mans. We had Le Manses.
Land yachts.
Mm-hmm.
But they had a sports engine in them.
Mama used to have a Grand Am back in the 70s. We called it the Batmobile because it looked like the 1966 Ford Futura Batmobile, but it was a GM Trans Am, or not Grand Am.
The mid 80s, we went to Kansas City because that's where my dad's mom was living. And we took the Pontiac Le Mans.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to get to Kansas from Chattanooga, you have to go up Mont Eagle. On the way to get back, you got to go down Mont Eagle. Dad got to the top of Mont Eagle coming home from Kansas City, and one of the spark plugs went out. And he walked all the way down Mont Eagle to Martin Springs Road, got a spark plug, and walked all the way back, and then drove it home. We had that car until the mid 90s, and it was a 70-something.
Oh, yeah.
Now, in my Chevelle, I went to my brother's house in Nashville to help him work his car. You okay, Heather? What the hell just happened?
What?
You went from...
Did my internet?
Yeah.
My internet took a hiccup.
Yeah.
I've got really crappy internet.
Yeah, we just got 30 seconds of your video and audio in about 2.
My internet sucks.
I went to my brother's house, had to work on his car. I used to be a wrench turner at one time.
Mm-hmm.
I went to my brother's house in Nashville from Chattanooga, and Heather knows how far that is. He lived in Hendersonville.
That's even further than Nashville.
Yeah. I went from Hickson to Hendersonville in 45 minutes.
Damn, Joe.
Um,
The fastest I've ever made it
God,
from.
all the cops were off duty that day.
I filled up at the same gas station twice.
Yeah, coming and going.
Yeah. Plus, I had to fill up before I left. I mean, I couldn't make the run from Chattanooga to. I had to fill up in Winchester.
Winchester. Isn't that prophetic? That is a beautiful machine.
I tried to get a job in Winchester, and they wouldn't hire me because I live too far away.
Well, they suck, Heather. We're just going to put that down
That
right
is
now.
pretty.
They suck.
That's a Le Mans.
That is
isn't
a
it?
1967 Buick Wildcat.
Oh, Wildcat. Oh, yes.
And
2-door.
A 2-door. Well, I don't know that they made a 4-door. But it was a yacht. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's like 6 acres under the hood alone.
You can launch drones off the roof like the old Caprice station wagons. Off the hood, just.
People ask you what the gas mileage was on it. You go, which part? The front end or the back end?
3 gallons per mile.
I got my flex back.
You got it fixed?
Yeah, finally. It was a
Cool.
stupid fuel injector that fried the computer.
I want to talk about a car a lot of people kind of slept on. The Oldsmobile 98 Aurora. Okay.
Hey, nothing wrong with an old.
It had the North Star engine in it, so it marked its territory, and it wasn't it wasn't made for the this middling around with stoplights. But my dad and I took one from Michigan City to Portland, Oregon, sleeping for about 6 hours in Iowa, and made the whole trip in less than 36 hours. That thing got up to about 90 something, and you didn't know, because Interstate 80, frickin' Iowa, there is nothing. There is one tree. We went across, and I think we went that route. Don't think that was the go through Montana, because there for a while you had to gas up at Snowflake, Montana, because there was no gas station for 500 miles. But that car was what Bruce Wayne drove on his day off. I swear, you'd be doing 110, have no clue. Just it feels like you're doing a Sunday drive. Just. No, not that. Oh, I love that car for that sort of thing. And I think, I don't know, because I grew up with British Roadsters, Jaguars, Triumphs. It's a different kind of speed. It's the raw power.
Smooth.
It's smooth, and the handling matches the top end. Now, I love. There's nothing wrong with a Mustang. A Mustang is a beautiful vehicle if you want to go in a straight line. Some of the turning gets a little loose on some of them, especially later Mustangs. Being generous here because I don't want to offend anybody. Politics, I will offend all day, but something important like cars, we must treat with the reverence deserved. But you get in a Jaguar like an XKE, and it's just the stick shift feels like it's it feels like an automatic for the passenger. There's nothing. It's just magical. And I'd like to see more of that refinement in cars. I heard they're starting to talk about, and I love it, stick shift electrics. And I find that fascinating. Because we're gonna have to deal with electric cars coming.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the point in it.
But I can see
the point would probably be fun.
It's fun. See, the great thing about, I think we should bring back stick shifts more aptly. Now, I have trouble with mine, obviously, because of this, so I understand. But
you know why I would want to have a stick shift, so I couldn't be carjacked.
No, stick shifts are great. No, you're not wrong. It's the millennial security device.
Yeah, really.
But I was driving. Actually, I was riding with my wife. She was driving, which is so cool. I spent
and get all the controls in cursive.
But I'm driving through. We're riding through Maryville, Indiana, right? Up 41, same 41 as you guys usually deal with, just on the far northern end. And I'm counting at about 2/3 of the cars, they've got a cell phone in their hand. They're messing with their cell phone while they're driving. All across the board. Stick shifts fix that because you need one hand on the wheel and one hand on that stick. So if they make, that's what they should do. If you get caught driving with using a cell phone while driving, which is one of my big pet peeves, You should have your automatic driving license revoked, and you have to drive with a stick shift.
Oh, I'm going to tell you something that the
Oh,
car
the tree
companies
on the tree at that.
the car companies could do that would just shut it down. Pull some of the shielding off the ECUs.
Oh yeah.
I had a Jeep Cherokee and I had a bag phone at one time.
Mm-hmm.
And had it down between the seat. And whenever somebody would call me, it would practically shut the computer down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that sucker would go to bucking and barking and popping and farting, and you'd think the motor was blowing up. Phone hung up the phone and it'd clear out. Just pull the shielding off of it. That'll take care of all the problems.
See, I want to talk about something. I want to. You're a retired, somewhat pro wrench turner. If I won like one of the big lotteries, okay, like I'm talking ugly money, I want to hire you and a bunch of designers to build a car. And we're gonna build a whole line of cars. But we're gonna start
this episode of The Simpsons.
That's always an answer for literally everything at this point. But the idea is everything on the car can be taken apart with a 10mm wrench or a lug nut. I want a tool set no bigger than 3 or 4 items, and you can take the whole car apart. And everything is built to be serviced. Because I swear if I see one more stupid plastic bindy clip to hold, no, we need a serviceable car. And I'm just like, I can call you because it needs to go and not suck and be serviceable. You want to tweak up your car. Everything's easy because I'm so tired of this. I can't. The lawnmowers you can't change the oil on anymore. They're starting to seal the oil. There's no drain valve to drain the oil off the lawnmowers.
Mm-hmm.
John Deere is making it where you can't even service your tractor because you don't own it.
There's a lot of cars you have to have special tools to take the oil filter off of.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have to go to a place that has that oil filter because they don't sell the tool because they don't sell it to the general public.
Right.
Rolls Royce, you have to pay extra for a key to open the hood to look at the engine.
Yep. See, we need to criminalize that right there. I mean, if they want to write laws and go after people.
Wasn't there a big push a few years back to start making stuff that could be repaired?
There was,
and there was a pushback because planned obsolescence.
You can't work on your own Tesla. If you work on your own Tesla, it voids it, and you have to pay to reactivate it.
Yep.
With that
and it takes
place,
months to get a Tesla.
Better
fixed.
not ever break down.
Well, Elon's working on that, especially since Tim Dodd hemmed him up down at Boca Chica.
Tim Dodd got in a wreck across the street from Starship launch site. Somebody came from the beach and came around that corner too fast and hit Tim Dodd, T-boned him. And Tim had to send his Tesla off for a couple of months to get it fixed.
And Elon has apologized. Did you read the tweets the last couple of days?
No.
Elon is starting his own insurance company for Teslas.
Because insurance won't cover the entire cost.
Yes.
From the person who hits the car and the person who's driving the car. Because it costs $20,000 to $40,000 to fix a Tesla.
Now, I'm going to say, I love Elon. I love what he's done for the space industry. But that is just God. I'm not.
He's including this insurance into the price that what the other insurance companies don't pay, his company will cover the difference.
Pending whose fault it was.
Yeah.
And the kind of insurance that you cover.
If it's not your fault, it's fully fixable. And
if you had one of these, you're on your own.
Yeah. And you're supposed to get a loaner car from Tesla.
Which is good because most of your car insurance companies will only give you a loaner for a month.
Yeah.
A rental.
You know
and then depending on if they have a rental that's in the price range, you might have to pay extra because they didn't have the car in the price range.
I need a loaner Starship.
Well, you know that raid on Area 51.
Did you run with your arms behind your back?
Run? Buddy, if I'm running, something's chasing me, and my arms are pumping like Mario. Okay, I'm a fat guy. Running is not my natural situation anymore.
If
when
Nick is running,
little, sure, but now it's this number. All I got, and I'm looking for somebody's kneecaps. I love y'all, but I don't gotta be faster than the bear. I just gotta be faster than you. That's why you carry a 22 if you ever have to run from a bear. You don't shoot the bear. You shoot your buddy.
I was going to say, a 22 is just a BB gun on steroids.
And not very strong ones either.
So, in other words, if Nick's running, you better keep up.
Oh, yeah. I've got good reason. It has happened on occasions.
Do you remember when the volcano...
I don't really want to pass him because he'd be behind me.
Go ahead, pass.
Do y'all remember when the volcano blew in the Philippines that shut down the American Air Force Base down there?
Yeah.
It was so funny because I was watching the Discovery Channel or one of the science channels about it, and this colonel walks out and sees the geologists and everything running. He goes, "What's going on?" And the guy turned around and told him, "Colonel, if you're going to hang around here, I hope you got some jam in your pocket because you're going to be toast." And that's what the colonel's reply was. He said, "I learned right then and there, when you're around a volcano and the geologists start running, keep up."
Oh, God. Oh, God.
And they said within 15 minutes, the top blew on the thing and covered the base. They've never reopened the base because it's 15 feet of volcanic ash on top of the base.
No, it
was a very Mount St. Helens moment for that particular area.
Yeah.
Now, believe it or not, in 2010 or 2011, volcano blew in Iceland, and I was on an airplane going from Atlanta to London. They had to divert a little bit because of the dust, and they didn't want the engines to be choked up and have to ditch in the ocean.
The volcano just recently blew again in Iceland.
Yeah.
I think that's a different one.
Well, it's a different one, but let me
They've
go ahead.
got a lot of them, so it really doesn't matter.
Let me go ahead and, since we brought up volcanoes, talk about a couple of the Halicon guest authors we've got coming.
Oh, I know where this is going.
As of right now, we've got the Interstellar Woman of Mystery, who is she's got a book out about the Yellowstone volcano. Yeah. Nick, if you want to look it up, it's called Kiss Your Ash Goodbye. is the name of the book. Stephanie Osborne. And also we have our resident authors, KT Hunter and TD Ralston. And we've still got 2 more that we're waiting to lock down, and then we'll open up to some other authors.
I wish I could go.
You're not going to be able to make it?
Nope. With COVID still being a thing and me working in healthcare, I don't think it would be intelligent for me to come.
Even with the double sore arm?
I can't get the vaccine.
Why not?
Because I'm allergic to every medication on the planet.
Well,
it's been said that if you're allergic to multiple medications, that it's not good for you to get it because you'll probably have an anaphylactic reaction.
Wonderful.
So, because I'm allergic to so many medications, it has been suggested that I don't get it until they figure out a different way of making the vaccine.
Okay. Well, that stinks.
It's not letting me share something into the comments. So I'm going to put it in the private comments so you guys can possibly, with functioning internet, share it.
But even if
that book,
all right,
even if I get the vaccine, me being around COVID patients and stuff, I can still get it, and I can still transfer it. And I don't want to be one of those people that gets it and doesn't know that I have it and go to a mass gathering like that and give it to somebody else.
Well, thank you.
That's my big thing is I know I'm going to be working with COVID patients.
Yes, that's it.
And I really don't want to get anybody there sick, especially knowing that a lot of the people who go to conventions are in the vulnerable populations.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the book, Nick.
Okay.
I have one of her books.
She gives a presentation on it. She's got one on the New Madrid Fault.
That's a good one.
And what's the other one, Dan?
Which other one? I missed what you have already covered. New American Space Plan, yes.
Yeah, that's a good one. No, but she's got one about the.
She's got one about Yellowstone. She's got one about the New Madrid Fault. She's got one about the space weather.
Space weather, yeah.
My stupid camera keeps coming unplugged.
Wonderful.
Duct tape?
Okay. And she's back. There she is.
On a really crappy camera.
What'd you do? Plug the other one in? Or are you just using the laptop?
It's the laptop one that came on. Because in order for me to get the Logitech one to back working, I have to back out and come back in.
Like I said, you might want to wipe the lens.
I did.
It looks like you got a thumbprint on it. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to help.
It's from where I have a sticky note stuck to it so that...
Oh, that's clearer. Yeah.
And what were you going to say about the book, Nick? Is that what you were wanting to ask, if that was the right book? Or?
Oh, no, I looked it up. I figured you were plugging it. I wanted to share the link so that the viewers could possibly have access to the link to their book. I'm sorry, I've been around Brian K. Morris too much, so I just default plug people. It's like, it's an infection. The mighty Manatee Man, master of marketing, takes over my mind.
Yeah.
So that's the one. That's the one about Yellowstone.
About Yellowstone. It's absolutely something. I mean, it's a scary little book.
The problem with
and she makes it enjoyable though.
Yeah.
And she's supposed to be doing a panel on her NASA stories.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for the NASA panel.
Oh yeah.
I want you to broadcast that panel.
We'll see what we can do.
I really want to see that panel.
What's the countdown to you being able to broadcast on Facebook again?
Sunday at 6 o'clock.
Okay. A couple of years ago, a gentleman who I like to watch gun tubers. I may not agree with them, but many times they're entertaining. And I'll put it there for caveat. One of them is a guy by the name of Brandon Herrera. And he got kicked off of YouTube for some misunderstandings, as can happen. And when he came back, he covered an Eminem song and rewrote it. He filked it for, it'd be so empty without me. And I'm thinking you have just enough time, Joe, to make a music video for your reemergence on Facebook.
Already have.
Oh, excellent! Because I want to.
Okay, I wasn't consulted, so
He's going to push the line of community standards, aren't you, Joe?
Oh.
That look.
Just wait till the show ends.
I have a question.
Yes.
You guys were plugging the Rising Tide Network broadcasting.
Yes.
Yes.
How is Armchair broadcasting on YouTube?
We're working on that. But we will be back to... Actually, we could have been broadcasting on Armchair the whole time because it's not blocked.
Because it's linked to my personal account.
I guess.
Because remember, that was how I had to get it to shut off.
It's not Joe's, it's Heather's.
I had to log in through StreamYard through my personal Facebook page.
Okay.
That was the only way I could get it to end broadcast.
I've had the same problem. I actually got booted out of my own a couple times on the Historical Fencing Guild. I've been booted out of my own broadcast, and then it won't let me get on to turn off my own broadcast.
That's what happened to us. We were in the middle of covering the Green Run, and it wouldn't let us end the show. It said that we weren't connected or something.
Yeah.
And I had to go and connect it through StreamYard through my Facebook account to get it to end the broadcast.
The only way I could get mine dead, because it wouldn't let me, I didn't have a StreamYard workaround, was to go in and actively delete it from the YouTube studio. I had to actually get in and delete the video because it was broadcasting a black screen, and it wouldn't let me.
That would be more entertaining than half of the YouTube videos I watch.
Okay, thank you. Because I thought you were taking a shot at me for a second there, Dad. You were all primed. I'm like, I know where Skunk would have gone with that, but
I actually watched the Blue Origin launch the other day while I was in class.
Well, I didn't get to watch it because I was unconscious. Tuesday
was that
night.
The day you got your second shot?
Rabies shot?
No, Tuesday night I got a horrible leg cramp, so I pulled out of the reserve my muscle relaxer and took it at about 6 o'clock on Tuesday night, and it was early this morning before I was functional again.
I have one of these left that I am saving for an instance of extreme pain that over-the-counter medication will not touch.
I've got Flexeril.
I have Zofran
I don't know what
stored
that
away.
is.
What?
But,
I have Zofran stored away.
what is this shit?
That's some really good nausea medication.
Tramadol.
Oh, that's
a controlled substance now.
It
didn't used to be.
Tramadol.
I'm controlling it really well because I've had it for months now, and I haven't taken the last one yet.
I can't take it. It does the exact same thing to me that hydrocodone does.
What's that?
It is like meth to me. I get really itchy, and I get really jittery, and I throw up. it messes with my stomach and I projectile vomit.
Oh, I did that with the COVID vaccine, the second COVID vaccine. You missed that, Heather. I mean, I looked death warmed over.
You remember the Hellboy movie with the guy that was a fish?
Yeah, Abe.
Yeah, that's what Joe looked like.
I can see that.
I actually walked away from the show.
So anybody who has not gotten their second vaccine, you want to request off from doing anything for the next 48 hours after you get your vaccine.
At least.
That's why my wife and I are a week staggering
it. Yeah.
Yep.
Because we can't both be down at the same time.
Lindsay and I will go in Friday. I'm taking the day off from work. I automatically have the weekend off anyway because I'm working Monday through Fridays. And I have told my boss, if I have an extreme reaction from this one because I had a slight reaction 2 days after the first shot, I will be calling in and you will be needing to fill out an entire week's vacation for me. And he goes, okay, no problem. You're all caught up on everything that you've been doing, right? I go, yeah, but there's still stuff that's due.
They say that the reaction, like, you're normally within normal-ish limits after 48 hours. Yeah. You might have a slight fever in the first 24 to 48 hours, but after that, it's pretty much just sore arm and some fatigue.
Well, no, I didn't have the sore arm, but let's see. Good Friday, Lindsay and I both got our injections within 5 minutes of each other. No reaction at the site. Went ahead and went shopping in the store for about 2 hours. No problem. Got home. She started feeling like she had the flu and felt the same way for the next week. It didn't bother me at all until like 2 hours before I was due to go to bed Sunday night after getting it on Friday. And I felt like, I was coming down with a cold. My nose was running. I was sneezing. Got up Monday morning, went to work. I could not think straight all day. Came home, started reading my email, nodded off for about 4 hours in my chair. Usually it's only 30 minutes. Because, I am in my 60s. Nodding off in your chair is a normal thing to do when you get home from work. But got to work Tuesday morning. Everything's fine. No brain fog, no nothing. Lindsay's still sick. She was sick till the following. She was sick for an entire week. So, and she doesn't drive because of PTSD. The teenager that was texting on his cell phone, rear-ending us in 2007. She's still got the PTSD from that, so she can't drive. She can do local stuff as long as it's not like more than about 7 miles away and in our particular little teeny tiny little small town. But she can't go to Athens. She can't even get within the city limits without the traffic just freaking her out. And when you have a panic attack and you're behind the wheel of a car, that is not a fun feeling at all.
Okay, Joe, yours. You were gonna go and tell us yours.
Oh, I did impressions of Reagan McNeil. Do you know who that is?
Now I remember. Yes.
That one's a little too far from me.
The Exorcist.
Okay.
The little girl.
It was It was horrible. I mean, just contrary's action or actions contrary to swallowing.
So,
Actions
what are you
contrary.
going to do when you have to get the vaccine once a year?
I don't know. I hope I
Well,
don't.
Because this is probably going to end up being done like the flu vaccine.
once a year, yeah.
Because
He
it's
doesn't have to take the weekend off anymore.
the same
'cause he don't
virus.
work. He's retired, so
You just get say I'm not going to a con that weekend. You know, you hydrate heavily the week before.
Vitamin D, vitamin C, and zinc.
Yep.
What you do, you save yourself, get yourself a one of those camp pads. You know the camp pads? They roll out the foam, cut a U out the shape of your toilet, and just slide that in so that when you assume the position to worship the porcelain god, you know, you're
your
padded.
knees don't give out.
I'm telling you, it's all about preparation because, like, it's bad to be there, you know, hugging that thing so you don't fly off.
Well, actually, what I do is pull the shower curtain back, sit on the drop trowel, sit on the toilet, and puke in the tub.
Classic.
Well, it's harder to clean the tub out, but you know, if you're coming and going from both ends,
That's the best way to go.
yeah,
No,
really,
both
it's
ends.
better than a 5-gallon bucket.
No, 5-gallon bucket with a garbage bag liner.
Yep.
That way you can change it out.
Guess what, guys?
Is it that time again?
Yep.
How am I supposed to stay up till 6 a.m. at this rate?
Yeah, well, all right. But we're going to have to wrap it up. I want to thank everybody that has tuned in on the replay because nobody's been here all night.
All 0 of them.
That's okay. I usually have that effect on women.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to
We
say
have
good night.
on population.
And y'all hang around because I'm going to preview my opening for you guys.
Oh, no. I don't want to see it till Sunday.
Okay. All right. Say good night, everybody.
Good night,
night,
everybody.